you're at home, on the go, or at the stadium.
Welcome to the Centre Bounce, your home for all things AFL Supercoach.
Hello, everyone.
Things AFL Supercoach. There you go.
Just enjoying the intro, Joe. How you doing, mate?
Good. How are you, Joes? Hope you had a lovely New Year's and lovely Christmas as well.
Yeah. No complaints. It was good to see family and just kind of get away a little bit. I've been interstate the last couple of days, and somewhere that doesn't care too much about football is what I'll kind of say.
Well, not too many places at the moment are caring about football, given the time off at this point.
No, very, very true. I think probably just us and a few other content creators and stuff as well. It's an interesting one because I think the players may come back to training next week after having 3 or 4 weeks off just post-Christmas. So, yeah, it's a good time to kind of revisit and revamp and go again. How was your Christmas break?
Yeah, it was good. Lovely with family, with friends, but mostly with family. Spent went out to Torquay, Geelong area over the New Year's. Got to see some of the fireworks over there, and yeah, it was nice. Just pretty chill. Got a lot of beach time, a lot of tanning. So definitely happy about that. My feet a little bit burnt, but otherwise, I know for the Bombers, the boys go back for training on the 8th. So this week, our boys go back. So keen as a been to see what they're up to move things along on Thursday. Unfortunately, I can't go. I would have loved to have gone in person to watch them, but I'm back at work on Wednesday. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Are you back? When do you go back to work?
Today was my first day back. So yeah, it sucks unless I actually take work off or call a bit of a sickie. No watching North Melbourne this preseason for me, but I'll make sure to go down every time they've got a Saturday. They had their community stuff pre-Christmas. They went up to Queensland because I don't think we play any home games or play any games this year up in Queensland, which is very, very weird. So they did stuff up there this preseason and back to Melbourne, I guess. But perfect time for it too, just kind of looking at changes in players and guys that are coming back. Is there anyone you're kind of tracking, Joe, and saying, hey, I hope they've had a good off-season break because I'd love to grab them in my Supercoach team?
I'm always tantalizing with the idea of having Zach Reid back in my team. I love Zach Reid. He was a primo for us, and he has been absolutely incredible in this preseason that's gone by. He's probably been the best performing player in the entire team. Zach Reid. He just reads the ball so well. He's just intercepting everything, and even in our little match sims, he's always up and about. So always happy to look at him, and also obviously keeping track on Darcy Parish. Because as soon as I hear one niggle about him, bang, he's just put a line through him. But till now, still no bad news from the Darcy Parish front. So for those who believe, keep it praying, keep the prayers coming.
Very, very much so. I think for myself, it's definitely track the mid prices, like what you're saying. And then you got guys like Colby McKercher. Can the halfback dream stay alive, I think, as well? Just where are they training and things like that. Guys like Cozzy Pickett in the forward line and just a few rookies too. Like, you don't know necessarily what coaches are looking for automatically, but you can kind of say, oh, this guy's come back in really good form, or oh, this guy's done a Horn Francis and boozed up for the last 2 months, Christmas, post-Christmas, heading into New Year's and just not being fit. So, yeah, it's kind of who's dedicated and who's not at the moment.
Yeah, it's 100% all about dedication. Bailey, g'day, mate. Had to go getting off for work this morning. I didn't have to. I go back on Wednesday, thankfully. So I have one more day of sleep in, and then, it's all gone skis.
Yeah, bloody rough. I tell you what, it is. It was interesting times at my household, but it is what it is. You know, they pay you money. You got to get up in the morning. That's about it, right?
100%. You got to pay the bills. Causa! Happy New Year,
What's up,
Causa, mate.
Causa?
New team structure. Considering heavily starting Butters and Dacos.
Look, it's definitely something different. I'm always an advocate, and I think I've said this for AFLW and said this a little bit for a normal game, is that start the best players you can sometimes. And if people have just an exceptional run, try and go for something like that if you can. But Corey's always got some weird shit going on. Tell you what. He'll have those three and then like Harley Reid, Parrish, and who's the other one? Hayden Young going all the way into M6, and then just a whole bunch of stuff going on. So yeah, it's different. You'll be different. You'll be one of the 100-odd people, I think, that will have Bont. So maybe that's a good enough pod. And you just hope that. Just hope that you don't have he doesn't lose too much money early. So because there's a world where Bontempelli does really well. I mean, I don't know what their fixture is, Joe, early, but there's a world where he does really well and just outprices people. 2 or 3 of our best rookies have to turn into Bontempelli. So yeah, if he doesn't shit the bed early, you're doing okay.
Lions right off the bat in opening round. Yeah, obviously means that he's going to have, because he's obviously going to have the early bye in round 3. Could cop a tag, but I mean the guy is just too good. The Crom, I mean they don't really have anyone that can go with him. He could do really well. Have the bye, then come Bombers.
It's not an easy run, is it? It's not like Port Adelaide. Not like their run. I think if Bontempelli had their run, I think people would be saying stuff the early bye. I'm going to pick him.
Look, it's not the worst either. Having said that, because Bont is Bont, and he is the best player in the AFL. Like I think he'll have a tough time, possibly the first 2, but then again, he does love Marvel Stadium, so that helps. And then I feel like after that, it's not so bad. He'll score well against the Crom. He'll score well against us. I reckon he'll still score well against the Hawks. However, having said that, I'm pretty sure the elimination final against the Hawks, he scored quite badly. Marcus Bontemus Aurelius. Marcus Bontempelli.
I can't wait till
it's cheap.
Can't wait until the main game opens, because then we can really start to see who's the most selected and then not selected players. And I think that in itself is going to shape our minds a little bit. I don't think there was last year, Joe, but this year definitely having 4 early buys really does have the potential to change a lot of things. And then I've seen people as well say the opposite. They're just like, well, last year we had a whole bunch of guys scoring 80s and 90s, and if I can lock in those players, like, cool, I lose 30 points from picking Bont because my rookie's scoring 90 that week. So who cares? Just another way to kind of look at things, I guess.
I think the last 2 games have been the greatest for the Bont, playing against the Hawks. So could you hope that he has another poor one on top of his early buy to see him drop in price? No, it's a lot of money to be spending on someone who does have an early buy. But Butters for sure. I think Butters is probably the one who's most locked in out of all the premium mids.
Yeah,
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Do we have to show the ball? Do we have to show Port Adelaide's fixture for those who don't believe? So no opening round, which is excellent. And then he's got North, Bombers, Eagles, Richmond, St Kilda. They're going to still be teething. They'll still have teething problems. Hawks, Cats. Yeah, but legit, it's the first 5, which is just, it's going to be VCC action. He plays Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? So you're going to have a captaincy option right here in Butters every week. So I think you'd Butters and Rosie, probably the two most owned players, I think.
Yeah, it really shows for the likes of Bergman as well. If he's tracking so good into that team coming into round one, you're almost forced to pick him just for that fixture because he could be like 100K, maybe not 100K, but could be 100K more expensive after the second price rise, Joe. Same with the Jordan Sweet too. I don't know. Looking at doing a cheap under 500K players if you've got some spare cash episode, but his early run, like who's the ruckman? Like you got Cherry, and then what? Sweet versus Blackiston. Do you really think like Blackiston's gonna win? And then Sweet versus what? Finn. Cool. Okay. And then it's like, well, Richmond's going to get slaughtered by Port Adelaide, so you'd assume hit-outs to advantage are going to be okay. And then they're figuring out what's happening with TDK and Marshall. So he's not terrible.
It's a great run. That's why I have him in my team.
Few people started triple ruck last year. I actually saw some quad rucks last year, Joe, with Jackson in the forward line. So it might just be viable. I mean, do you get Parrish or do you spend 150K and get Jordan Sweet to keeper? So, yeah, going to be really interesting to see what happens with the ruck rules and then kind of where things are at with that.
Thinking the thing with Dacos, I think Dacos definitely is underpriced compared to what we know that his normal output would be. I think he's one that you could possibly.
Do you think by like 20K though? Like what is he, 620 or something? He's not exactly the cheapest player.
This guy's
30K.
This guy could be M1. Like he is, but Dacos is such a talent that he really could be M1, and he could be M1. For us for the next 10 years. Just spitballing because of just how much of a pig he is, how much he can pick up the ball, and how much Collingwood rely on him. So it just makes sense. Like I feel like it's almost impossible to finish your team and not have Nick Dacos in there. It's just a question of, do you want to start him? Because he'll play the first 2 games, won't have a price rise, and then he gets tagged by Bedford. And that Bedford tag sucks because that's going to be in his system. And he's got the Lions. I don't think Freo. Oh, they could. I think Freo have tried tagging Dacos in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, I think as the pies themselves get weaker and weaker, just from age demographic, Dacos is the one that cops the tag anyway. I mean, you're not tagging Pendlebury anymore. Josh Dacos maybe a little bit, but like, who's their midfield, Joe? I think Dacos is the one that cops the tag anyway.
They tagged him in round 9. He did a bloody good job. And he thought, you know what? Let's not tag him the next game.
Well, maybe that's just the MCG, the MCG curse,
What happens when you don't tag Nick Dacos, bro?
That's a pretty amazing turnaround, though, if you look at bro. That's like 43 touches. Nick Dacos thought he was Harry Sheezel there and went massive that week.
7 tackles as well. What? Yeah. Oh, geez. Let's have a look at him against the Giants because that's going to be a really important one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he cops the tag. Oh, no, he got injured in this game, apparently. In opening round, only scored the 66. Well, they hardly ever play against each other, don't they, Nick? The Pies and the Giants? They hardly ever play. It's not... Yes. That's supposed to be Etihad. Was it Etihad in 2024? No. This is opening round. NG Stadium. So he played NG Stadium twice for a 131 to 66. And when he played at the MCG, he's been tagged. Surely Bedford goes straight to him. You tag him straight away, don't you?
I think you have to. Like I said, he's their best player in the team. If you can just nullify that, you're doing very well. So just do it.
Well, I'm probably leaning more so not starting Nick and then trying to get him in possibly Split view makes it easier to multitask. Thanks, Chrome. All right, so I don't know.
Well,
like
I think
football.
that's been the assumption, right? You don't start him, you don't start Bond, you don't start. I think Callahan's slowly crept into a lot of people's teams, but just the early buy, yeah, it's a little bit tough.
He scores really well against Brisbane historically as well. Something to ponder. Mantle, Carlton, Bombers, Hawks. Something to ponder. When's Collingwood's second bye? Collingwood have their second bye
Early?
round 14 with Carlton. I can't see myself loading too much on Carlton by that stage of the season. Freo, it's probably Brayshaw, Sarong, maybe Jackson if Shrek is injured. And then Hawks, I can't see myself picking too many Hawks either. So, having a Collingwood player like Nick Dacos, I don't think is going to be overly punishing at all in round 14. Round 2, I don't have any Brisbane premiums. Don't have any Geelong premiums. Could be something that you're happy to wear. We'll keep tracking it, but don't think Nick Dacos isn't a talent. I'm a superstar.
Looking at what Causa said, I'm quite surprised he's not jumped on Matt Rowell or an Anderson early.
Expensive.
How good? Just how good. Like, you can't say they're expensive when you're picking guys who are 700k and then Callahan's like 610 and then Dacos and Butters being like 20k. Bro, look, look at that.
It's a great start.
Yeah. Even Freo's got a fairly good run too early. It's just so good, man. Like, you're just going to not watch TV rounds like 2 and 3. Sorry, round 1 and 2 if you don't have any of the big Gold Coast players.
And the thing about Rowell is that, like I said in my team review, he tends to start the season hot the last 2 years. So if we look at him in 24, started the year 137, 155, 99, 129. So he started off with a bang. He had a 7-game stretch. First 7 games, he went 131. And then if we look at the start of this year, he didn't play. That was a preseason game. And then his first 5 games, the 126 average to start the season. He starts pretty hot. Every year. And then his fixture is really easy if you look at his fixture. He's got Cats at home, Eagles, Tigers, Melbourne. They're not going to be very competitive, you wouldn't imagine. Swans, they're good, but it's at Norwood Oval, which is tiny, which means tackles galore for Rowell. And he's got the Bombers, where he should score really well as well. So there's again, it's a very possible that Matt Rowell could go 120 again to start the year as well.
I mean, you're saying he goes. I don't need more convincing, Joe. But when you say, hey, he goes big early, and then it's like, he's playing West Coast, and
exactly.
He's playing Richmond. Like okay, all right then, no worries, mate.
Yeah, Hawks. I don't think the Hawks are tagging much these days, so things should be fine. Dogs, they don't tag. Saints probably won't tag him, I don't think. Collingwood don't tag. So good run, and then off the bye, he's got the Tigers, where he should go crazy. On the outside, Swans, it'll be tougher. You guys don't really tag too much either now, do you?
We haven't historically had a tag role, but we definitely have like run with players. I haven't really had much of a tagger since probably Ben Jacobs. I know Simpkins tried it a few times and a few others, but like Wardlaw will just play on you. It won't be like negating role, if that makes sense.
Suns, they don't tag. Bombers, won't tag either. So yeah, I love Callahan as a pick. I like Young as a pick. Parrish probably won't be available come round one the way given his history. But hey, if he does play, it's a tick from me because we know he's severely underpriced. Tatum was saying he will attract watchers through January. Absolutely. Be watching Carlton train a few times. Eyes on Newman and Jagger. Yeah, Jagger Smith's also one that's absolutely locked into everyone's midfield for sure.
Yeah. Seems like a pretty good on-field target if he's fit come round 1 too. And the beautiful thing is Carlton have the preseason. Well, I can say preseason, but they've got opening round game.
Right.
So you get to see if he's fit, and there's no real negative.
Exactly. Okay, Felix, how you doing? Would you rather start Anderson or Rowell, or neither due to the early bye? Do you want to go or?
Anderson or Rowell or neither. Look, I mean, we just spent 5 minutes talking about how good Gold Coast's early run is. So I think Felix, the feeling pre-Christmas time when Supercoach first opened was, hey, don't pick any early buy players. Then I think that the trend a little bit has turned into you can have potentially one or two, or one from each of the early buys. Like run a GWS player, run a Gold Coast player, and potentially a Sydney player who are primo status, and then someone from round 2 if you really want to as well. We've seen last year, especially starting the season, the rookies that start the season tend to be hot, pretty fair to say. So, and this year we've got guys like Mateus Philippou, who are available at 160k, who could pop up a premium level number early. So, I don't think you're not missing as much anymore, just for the quality of how players are playing. Teams aren't really going to run, and us in Supercoach land aren't going to pick a player who's playing mid and is only going to score 60s, I think. So you might be safe for the first 3 rounds, and then it's just like fixture running for the next little while.
I'm just looking at these buys. Bro, round 12 is going to destroy me. 30 people in a live stream first week of January.
Done.
You know it. And we love you for it, Tatum.
Well, yeah, I mean, round 12 is something I think I got called out in my latest team review, Joe. I had, like, if you've got Dawson, if you've got Rowell, you got Sheasel and potentially McKercher. Like, I currently had, 3 Port Adelaide players, plus Rowell, plus Sheasel and McKercher, plus, potentially a Dawson. As you say, round 12 is going to be a bit hectic for a lot of people.
Right, it's because if you've got Rosie, Butters, Bergman, Sheasel, McKercher, Sherry, Rowell, like, we haven't even spoken. These are just premiums. And last year, the whole thing was, bro, you don't really want more than 6.
Yeah.
And just like that, starting team's got 7. So, look, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm not entirely sure. It's almost like hoping that players like McKercher don't, in fact, end up being keepers, because you just don't want to be screwed over in round 12 so badly.
Yeah. It's an interesting one too. I'm picking him with the hope that he is a keeper, but in my head, I'm like, okay, if he starts off the season hot, who am I picking in defense? By the end of the season, I want to have like Naz and Sinclair. I probably want to have Whitfield, potentially Ash. I want to have a Jordan Clark and then like 1 more or 2 more. So there's a world where a McKerch is just really good value, similar to a Bergman, and you just pick him now and say when round 12 comes, like, stuff it and we'll see what happens. I think it's kind of the mentality.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but the issue is that, even if he was as good value and you look to trade him out, because they got the very first buy round, like anyone you trade them to is going to have a buy as well. So it's not like, he was in round 14 and then you could trade back to another team that had a round 12 buy, for example. You know what I mean? So it puts us in that interesting predicament, how we're going to navigate those buys. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't really care. For now, something to continue considering. So I think, Felix, it comes down to your team structure, how many premiums you've got, really, ultimately.
One thing I will say, the one thing I will say early is, once you start to get to the middle buy rounds, and we found this in AFLW a little bit too, once you start to get to the middle buy rounds, a lot of people have completed teams or nearly completed teams. So if you come into the season with that kind of mindset, you want to take as many advantages as you can early. Load up your team with 30 Miles Bergmans if they have the best fixture and they have the early run, because you've got 40 trades. So between round 1 and round 12, you've got enough time to be able to offload your players and move players around and things like that, for it not to hurt you too much. But you want to jump ahead of the pack as much as you can, because it's really hard to get into that top 100 if it's round 12 and things like that. It's just because, like, you can do top 200. I think you can go back and once injury carnage happens post round 20, you can kind of seep in there a little bit. But the top 100 or so get some more locked in, barring like huge injuries. So you want to be ahead of the pack as soon as you can.
Yeah. Hey, Mass, I'm not going to show you a comment because the picture could get us in trouble. Thinking I'm going to start Langford and Reed instead of a Primo mid and rookie for the same price.
Yeah, it's kind of my conversation with Parrish and Young. Do I pick Parrish and Young, knowing that I'm going to have to spend 4 trades to get rid of those guys? Or do I start someone like a Dacos and then a rookie, knowing that I'm probably going to have to spend 2 trades to fill the position instead of potentially 4? So it just something to have in your head, I think, a little bit.
Cash is king in this game. It's really important. And the benefit also to having more rookies, I think, in this year in particular, more than previous years, is that the sub rule is gone. So you can put more trust, I suppose, in these rookies to play out a whole game for you and to make you to score well, and therefore to make you good coin. A lot of the issues that we've had with rookies these past few years with the sub rule is that you just never know which week is going to be, where they're going to front up as the sub at 3/4 time and barely come on for half a quarter or 1 quarter.
You can't get bevoed when there's no more sub.
Exactly. Can't get bevoed when there's no more sub rule. So at worst, you'll have a position change and he might throw you into deep forward pocket. But otherwise, these rookies are probably, we're going to see more cash gen than we've ever had, almost, dare I say, because of just all of the rookies going to play full games. So for me, I don't think it's necessarily, I don't know. For me, I'm very happy to field a rookie. I don't necessarily feel threatened that I have to be fielding as few rookies as possible on the field. I feel like that might have been an issue and might have been a strat in previous years, but I feel like we're now getting back to the guns and rookies again. I think it might be beneficial.
Do you think, a bit of a preseason prediction for you, Joe? Do you think Supercoach is going to implement the rule that AFL Fantasy has around 50% game time this year? Or do you think they're going to hold off? Considering there's no sub rule, I don't know if anyone has been watching the news, but if you play less than 50%, then I think it's you get swapped out. So it's trying to help mitigate injuries and few players who are coming back and whatnot. I think like Sardis and things like that, getting like 48% game time and stuff and getting a poor Supercoach score. Do you think they'll implement that for Supercoach this year, or they're going to say, nah, cool, we'll let that be a fantasy thing and, take it as it comes?
Does that count as a did not play?
Yes.
Under 50%?
So they get automatically subbed, I think, for someone on the bench if their score is higher, if they've played less than 50% game time on field.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if that was implemented. Like, there's nothing worse than, you have a captain who goes down with injury. I know all us Tom Green owners who had him captain and then saw him goes down in the first 5 minutes and then bam, you're destroyed. You know, it's obviously through no fault of your own, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. So I do think it would be fair from a captaincy perspective only, I think. Because you need to have some luck, and life isn't fair. So there's no reason why this game, which reflects real life, should be very fair. I think it should be an accurate representation of what happened on the day. And ultimately, if your player popped off, well done, lucky. If your player went down early with injury, again, unlucky. I think it should be. I think it really should just only be for the captain. I think ultimately, because if your captain dies in the first 5 minutes and you finish with 0 points for your captain, I know Max Gawn owners as well would be traumatized by that Brisbane game where he got injured in the first 2 minutes and finished with 0, and then bang, you're without a captain. I think that's a bit too much. If they can do it for the captain, I think that would be great.
I think all our CCJ owners as well, Joe, came on the field and did a hammy in the first 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, well, that was short-lived. So, yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
So hard, Bergman, Colby, yeah, 100%. Very,
very
difficult.
Take it, Corey. Take it. You've got 12 weeks of Bergman scoring well. Well, 11 weeks of Bergman scoring well, and then cool, you offload him to a rookie, or you've got some form of bench cover. It's not so bad if you've got playing bench rookies, right? Come round 12, I mean, 2 in the back line potentially. You'd assume Rosie maybe has DPP at that point, so you can get away with it a little bit, but it's manageable. It's not the best.
English my starting right, set and forget. Fair enough. Set and forget.
Yep.
Max also agrees. What about Goulden? Such a gun player. 100%. That's why I haven't met a team so far, Tatum, that has not had Goulden in there. It's going to be a joy to watch. And like I say all the time, Kerno's going to have bruises on his chest, just getting absolutely nailed time and time again. Yeah, I'm very happy to have Goulden in my team.
Yeah, I haven't had him in yet, just because I feel like that 560K mark in Supercoach is really awkward. But we'll see kind of what happens with that, I think.
Legend! No way, mate. Bring on 40 season already. Can't stand the wait. Bro, you're not the only one. Did you see what happened on in the cricket? The siren started to play. The siren started to sound. It was almost as if someone was just itching to test to see if the siren still works. Yeah, man, you're not the only one. Can't wait for the footy to come back.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of AFL X and that kind of thing, but this preseason State of Origin game looks pretty good, man. Like if next year they run like 4 teams, they do a Victoria, like WA, Queensland, and maybe someone else. I could see it kind of working out really well. You throw in an Indigenous team, Joe. Say stuff New South Wales, who cares? Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and then a WA and an Indigenous team. I could totally see something like that working out and doing a bit of round robin. The big thing is just I hope that they actually play, and it's not like, oh, we're going to play easy. You know, I want some big tackles and things like that. Would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, no one's going to risk getting injured before the start of the season.
What's the point of, I'm going to play for the pride of Victoria? Oh, guys, like we're playing touch footy today. Give me the hard knocks, man.
No, it's like All-Star. It's like All-Star Weekend, whatever, in the NBA, East versus West. It's just an exhibition-friendly game, bro. There's no pride of shit, bro. There's no pride in that, man. No one's getting injured before the start of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Woody! How you doing, Woody? Good to see you, mate.
What's up, Woody?
Happy New Year. Boy, count was something for you to figure out. The best team and way to spend your dollars. I'll shoot you a message later. Early link.
Lock it in.
Thanks, Woody. Appreciate it, mate. We'll be keen to see what that is. Michael, G'day, Michael. Thoughts on Raul Anderson? The long game doesn't count. Yes, that's true. Will they score big enough in early fixture to offset the early buy? I think Raul will over Anderson. Not entirely sure because there's too many chefs in the kitchen. The Suns, now they've also added Petrarca. But in terms of inside Bulls, it's still Raul's game. It's still Raul's engine that he is thriving off inside. So if you're going to pick one or the other, I feel like it's Raul. Will they score big enough? I think they will. I think the run is way too easy to start with. The only question is, how many other early buy premiums are you playing? That's the only question.
Yeah. I think with those two, with the Geelong game and probably the other guys a little bit too, it's going to be a case of round zero tells us if we don't pick them. If they have, sub 90 games, that might scare a few people away. Same with Bont and things like that. If you can kind of calculate, cool, by round 4, I can afford Raul at 100K cheaper, might sway people a little bit in saying that they play West Coast and Richmond. So hope they have a good Geelong game and scare a few people away. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. Early in the season, though, tags don't always happen. Yeah, they don't always happen, but the Giants hate the Pies, don't they? Isn't there there's a real rivalry there, and look, there's a bit of pressure.
They stole their good players, right? Hoskin Elliott left, Treloar left. Joe, I think they got a bit of a history of stealing some of their good talent that want to come back to Melbourne for some big money. So, I mean, it's hard to have.
There's a real rivalry. The Mason Cox thing as well. Like there's a lot of rival. Yeah, I think they just sent Bedford straight to. Now that they have a dedicated Bedford tagging role, I think it would be crazy if they don't actually do it. Suns, 100%.
If they're serious about winning this year, they have to. Like, you just don't not nullify their best player.
Yeah, I know, it's insane, Causa. You've considered Rao, have the cash to do it. Or love to be in your position. Mass Parish won't make it to round 1, guaranteed, probably. Rio, let me know what's your Discord name, and I'll send you that Excel spreadsheet, bro. Tatum, and we also think the Suns will keep improving, winning more, 100%. It's literally the buy, 100%. And I don't think it's. Does it offset? Does that early buy offset how big he's going to score? If he scores 120 every week, let's see. Let's do let's pull up the calculator.
And the thing to look at it too goes back to what I was saying before about Tatum, about if you've got Rowell on field and your bench player scores 80, you're only losing 30 points, like potentially over another Primo. And Primos on bad days score 80. So if your rookie's scoring the same as a premium on a bad day, you're really not losing much by picking Rowell. Like the early rookies that you have, in your team should be playing anyway. So cool, I'll have Jagger Smith on field and no Matt Rowell, and could have a comparable score that week.
See, there you go. Causa done the maths. 120 for 10 games compared to someone who scores 110 in 11 games. So
yeah,
maybe you save the money.
It's 120. It's 120 for 10 games plus like an 80 from a rookie versus whoever scores that in 11 games. Like, you're not. It's not as bad as what you think. I think people are putting themselves out.
We just got to hope that in those 120s, it's more than a 120. Like you'd be hoping against the Eagles, he goes like 140. Against Richmond, he goes similar.
He's got a big ceiling, man.
Yeah, you'd be hoping for a lot of spike games early, because that's what you're picking him for. You're picking him for those big explosive games at the start, where you're the only one that has him for those games. Because anyone looking to trade him in after that point, well, they're not going to get those juicy matchups. And as we've seen the last 2 years, Rowell plays big. So it's a risk. This is a go big or go home. You're putting all your eggs in that basket. Will Rowell pop off to start the year and take advantage? If he doesn't, then it's objectively a failed pick and it blows up in our face. If he does start hot, then I think then the selection is warranted. So, yes, it is a gamble. It is a gamba. If Charlie Curnow goes 120 plus round 0, is he a lock for your starting team?
He doesn't even have to go 120 plus. If Charlie Curnow looks fantastic in that Sydney team, and you can clearly see that he's the number one. Like, who do they play round 1? They play Carlton. Okay, so he's going to get focused.
This is round 0.
He's going to get focused as much as he can. But it's not even a 120. If you said to me, okay, he scored like a 90, which is still above his price point, right? It's only 370K. If you said he scored a 90, but that was because he missed like 4 behinds, because he's a bit rusty and he's not played AFL for a while. They looked at him really good, and there were a couple of just crappy kicks that he shanked because there's no roof and it was windy that day. And, he's the clear target up forward and things like that. There's a world where we pick Charlie Curnow, man. I think last year, though, we do have to be a little bit wary of going round 0 heavy, and it's definitely a video to do once round 0 happens. Like, don't throw out your entire team early. But, yeah, you can definitely be swayed by some just good examples of players playing well in teams.
Yeah, playing Wiedering round 0. Look, if he scores 90, if he scores 90 plus against Wiedering, then I will be putting him in my team, I think. Because Wiedering... Is there a better one-on-one defender in the league than Wiedering at the moment?
Harris Andrews is pretty good, isn't he?
Harris Andrews is great. I feel like Harris Andrews is more of an interceptor.
Taylor from Doggies is pretty good too.
Yeah, Taylor from
Doggies, from GWS.
Yeah, he's good. He's great. But I'd say Wiedering is in that discussion because Wiedering can play... He can play on quite a few different types of players. I don't know. I feel like Wiedering might genuinely be the best defender in the comp, and maybe Taylor second. I don't know. Maybe it's just a question of whether or not that is the case. Obviously, this is subjective. But if he scores 90, he'll kick 1 goal or score a 50. I know that's probably likely what happens. But I'm just simply saying, if he scores 90 points playing against Wiedering, then I'm happy to start him because it just goes to show how great of a fit you'll be at Sydney with that incredible supply. Realistically, he should score about 50. But if he scores 90 plus, then yes, get in my side because that is a sign of what is to come. The incredible things. He's got Harris Andrews afterwards, then Barris.
Yeah, and then a bye. Look, it goes back to what I was saying, right? If he looks fantastic, if he scores big, okay. But
look at the next few weeks.
But he's never been in my starting side, and I think there's a lot more security picking someone like a Pickett, a Flanders, a Treloar, Brent Daniels at 400K versus him. So I think Daniels
those following weeks suck. Those following weeks suck. I didn't even realize seriously, how does he have such a tough run with all the key defenders? What's next? Is it the Giants next? Okay, no, it's the Eagles. All right, the Eagles, he'll go bananas. All right, the Eagles will win the Coleman Medal again just from this week. Is it all right if we trade him in after the bye? Is that allowed? Is that allowed to? Can we do that, Jess? Can we trade him in after?
Why not? Why not? If one of your other primos, and this is the beautiful thing about Supercoach, right, is if one of your other primos doesn't do well, you can always sideways to like a mid-pricer. Cosy Pickett shits the bed and scores 360s. I'm like, hell yeah, jump on him for that week.
Oh, God, that's unbelievable. All right, let me just scroll back up again. Jaden, howdy fellas, thoughts on Tom DeConning at R2?
I think you just can't pick him for 2 reasons. The early buy hurts. and you don't know what's necessarily going to be the ruck matchup time with Rowan Marshall. And I think it ends up just being too risky. You've heard the term set and forget, especially in our rucks, just because you just don't want to mess around too much. And it could be really weeks of just him scoring 80s and 90s because he's sharing main ruck with someone else. If Marshall ended up going to Geelong, cool, jump on both if you want to. But unless I hear something different, I'm just going to say no to TDK. I'll let someone else take the risk because is he going to play forward? Is he going to play main ruck? Why is he playing with someone else who's on 800K and he's on 1.7 or some dodgy number? It doesn't really work.
I was on Cozzy. Yeah, 100%. I've got Cozzy. I'm anticipating Cozzy to get prominent mid-time, so that's why I have him in my team at the moment.
Yeah. And he's cheap. He's cheap enough, and he has the last round buy as well. So just literally set and forget. You could just not have to worry about him the entire season.
Yeah, exactly. Currently have Sherry R1, TDK R2, Sean Darcy in the flex, and Sam Draper in the forward line.
How much is Darcy?
Bro, Sean Darcy.
You know what I would do, Wolf? If I was ballsy like you, I would not have Darcy. I would have Jordan Sweet for 70K more instead of Darcy in that flex, and I think you'd be doing so much better. You'd be on the money if you can fit all those guys in. Maybe not TDK. All right, forget the TDK. Do something better with him. But you could totally have Jordan Sweet instead of Darcy, and you'd be onto a winner, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Michael, Melbourne is my biggest watch preseason, with them having last mid-season bye, with an early bye to see their mid-mix without Oliver and track and defense without McPhee and Bowie. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. CJ, I think, is going to... We'll track him during the preseason as much as we can. But CJ is definitely going to be one to watch through the whole preseason. I mean, they brought him in and then Bowie got injured and there's already talks of him taking kickouts. So 270K, not too bad.
Woody, how nuts is it taking 5 rucks? My math is saying I should take Sherry, Madden, Conway, Cooper Duff Titler, and Reedy.
Well, I mean, Reedy makes sense, right? Reedy makes sense. You can have Draper in your team. If he's fit, okay, run him as a forward. You'd naturally have 2 rucks. And then Duff Tyler, I'm not sure, depending on what happens. Does Madden play? Is probably the big question. But I think you're missing out on too many rookies at that point. Duff Tyler versus someone like a Sid Draper. I don't know.
Wow.
I think just the price point, he might not make enough money for you to, you'd rather just take the 80K and use it somewhere else.
That is amazing. I love it, Woody, though. I love the creativity. Paul Allen. G'day, Paul. Boys. We are back. Would you take Bailey Smith and Dersma, the West Coast variety, or Will Ashcroft and Harley Reid? Look, I like the second one.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, I like the second one too.
If we're talking strictly between those two options. Nick Madden projected 96.2 if given full ruck by my math. Will Nick Madden be given full ruck, though?
Yeah.
Can you math that, Woody? So you've mathed what his projections would be. Can you math the likelihood of Nick Madden having full ruck time? That would be wonderful if you can.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Could be a bit of wishful thinking. 100% great cash gen would be unbelievable.
Would you not pick Kalani White? Because I think it's either him or Heath that's come in for Melbourne and he's actually going to play ruck forward. Let me just see how much Heath.
Well, I've got Kalani White, but then again, there's no real knowing exactly.
Him or Max Heath is going to play. They need another key forward up in Melbourne that can ruck. So him or White's going to play. Surely just a better option with guaranteed time.
Yeah. With 40 trades, now it's all about cash gen, rookies or mid prices, whoever's making bulk money. 100%, exactly right.
Yeah. I would jump on that as well and say it's about cash gen, but also about grabbing the players at the appropriate times. Spoken about it before, but not getting Matt Rowell at 440k hurts. Not having upgrades ready to go come round 6, 7, 8 with adequate cash gen really hurts as well. So it's like, 40 trades is great, but if you're not ready to go that particular weeks, grabbing a primo that someone else started 100k, 150k more expensive, it works.
Love it, Paul. Love it. Well done, mate. Great season last year. It will be a different game entirely.
Nice.
Same way it was a different game with the boosts when they first came in. How many keepers do you think we need to start? Well, if they're the best ones that you're never looking to trade out, then you're laughing. But if they're keepers, in that they're, top 10 forwards or top 10 defenders, they're not quite in the top 6 that's required. Could be leaking some points here and there. I'm not entirely sure how many premiums you necessarily have to start. Just as long as you have the well-balanced team that can make you score you points at the start without you getting blown out, but also nailing all those rookies. I think it's the rookies more than anything that's really important. Do you nail the important rookies and give you the scores that are in the good roles to then get you your faster up, your upgrades? I think ultimately I'm not really sure it's how many keepers do you need to start. I think that with the 40 trades, it's becoming a lot more fantasy-esque where you can trade a bit more, you can trade a lot more aggressively, I think. Do you have a number, Jez?
I think if you start probably any less than 10, it can really hurt you quite a lot. You don't want to be making, I think, more than 3 or 4 upgrades in each line, even including primos, because I've definitely been susceptible to spending a lot of trades sidewaysing and fixing mistakes, really. Not spending early buys, not spending early boosts and a lot of trades early on guys like Roberts, Perryman, Jaden Short, and things like that, which really hurt last year. If you can have 10, I think you're doing very well. Maybe don't include guys like Bergman and McKercher in that 10, though, and say, cool, I've got the potential and they're really good price to performance players that can hold their own for majority of the season. So have that in there. Remember that a lot of your mid prices won't. You don't want to. Going a little bit deep into it is probably the tough part, but you don't want to. If you think about upgrading your rookies, right? It's like a big cycle. So all your rookies that debut round 1, by the time that it's probably round 8 or 9 is when you've offloaded them for another round worth of rookies. Don't make your team in a position where you need too many of those second round rookies, those second lot of debut rookies. If you can avoid doing that, I think you're onto a winner. It's probably the way to look at it.
Fair enough. Reading. Where have we missed? Where am I? What are we up to?
Jack was talking about
just wondering for stupid risk.
Yes.
Travis. Just wondering for stupid risk going Meek R1 and Darcy R2.
I think so.
Stupid risk.
Which Darcy are we talking about?
There's only one Darcy in the ruck, and I think it's unnecessary. I wouldn't say it's stupid risk. I'll just say I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean technically there's 3 ruckmen that have the name Darcy, so you could be talking about
really.
Yeah, Darcy Cameron, Darcy Fort, Sean Darcy. So,
but he's talking about but he said Meek, so I was just going from last names.
Yeah, no. I think set and forget as much as you can in that position. There's a reason why a lot of us have gone Gorn Grundy, or some form. Sorry, not Gorn Great, Cherry Gorn. don't mess around with that line too much, because when you play during the season, you've got to worry about a lot of other things. So,
yeah, exactly. The rucks can get really messy really quickly. 100%. Have you talked about Phoenix Spicer? No, not yet. Good call, Rio. Yeah, it's very, very tragic. Very, very tragic. Do you know anything more, Jess? Other than
no, just that he passed away last Friday, and there's not really been anything talked about it. I think a lot of people are just respecting the family and things like that. They've come out and said he didn't commit suicide. Something else has happened. So yeah, that's about it really. Talked to him a few times at training and stuff like that. So it's pretty sad to see someone who's a lot younger than you and pass away, and not a very nice thing.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Very, very sad. Thoughts and prayers with the family at the moment. It's absolutely tragic. Don't have Bergman at the moment. Fair enough. Sports bet refunds bets when players get injured early. True. That's true. That's a fair shout. Did not think about it. I wish Ashcroft could play for Victoria. I really couldn't care less. It's just an exhibition game, really.
Yeah, I don't care. Victoria's going to win anyway. Let's be honest.
If any players get soft tissue in State of Origin, then they most likely would have done it at training or in early rounds anyway.
Yeah, intra-clubs happen. I think they still do the early, before round 0 practice matches too. They get a bit heated, so yeah, it's not that.
Yeah, it's true, but it still sucks though. Like having that happen in a preseason game, which means nothing. If it ends up happening during the regular season, fine, sure. I suppose it could be a way of saving us from an injury-prone player, for example. Could be. What's happening with Licky Neal? Oh, boy.
Well,
what hasn't been happening with Licky Neal?
Yeah, I don't know if he plays round 0. Round 0 come round 1, 2, 3. We'll see what happens, but could be on a Zach Merritt redemption arc. I mean, he's not going to worry about other things anymore, so could just be going crazy. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I don't think many people are picking him in Supercoach just for the age. What is he now? Born in 1993, so yeah, 33 this year. I don't know if people still pick him in Supercoach.
No, they probably wouldn't. It's good for him to step down from the captaincy. It's just focus on his footy, and yeah, hard to be in a position of leadership when you're doing that in your family and whatnot. But people make mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. It's unfortunate. Some people are a bit more high profile than others, and as a result, their mistakes tend to be blown up a lot more than others. But unfortunate situation he finds himself in. If he wants a family lawyer, he knows who we can call. I'm starting both Rowell and Anderson. The numbers are too good for them both with the early run.
Yeah, you just got to avoid that bye round. So no Hawks players, no Sydney players, no Doggy players for you. Premium land. But like I said, if you've got 2 rookies on field that are scoring 80s to 90s, even a 70, it might be worth it for you. Biggest question mark with those guys and me is just what happens with Petrarca and taking points and things like that. I doubt he's going to get bulk CBAs, but he could have a negative impact a little bit. In saying that, they have lost a few players, so one to track in round 0, I think.
Fair enough. I'm very upset at my boy Neil. Feel for him, but players are so dumb these days. Keep your pecker in the pants. How hard is it? This Bris Vegas trip they had done has done some serious damage for people. It's true, it has. But the crazy thing is, they still just come out and won the flag back-to-back years, and it doesn't really look like there's any chance of it stopping. It's crazy enough. That's just how stacked they are as a team. So, yeah, look, it's unfortunate. I don't feel sorry for him in any way, shape, or form. Ultimately, children are the biggest victims in all of this. Yep. And it's always very sad when there are children who find out about these types of things in a very public setting, especially children who are diehard fans of sport. They'd be online. They'd be talking with all their friends on social media. Look how cool my dad is. We've won another flag, blah, blah, blah. It can be a really awkward situation for these kids to find out online through socials about what their dad is doing. I feel bad for kids for sure. Top 10 or bust. That's the way we go. Let's be honest. We'll all sideways at least 2 or 3 primos. Don't we always?
You try not to. You try not to. Yes. Actually, no, he won't. He won't have a price rise before his buy. The St Kilda and Gold Coast ones do.
He will. He will. Kerno, his buy is round 3. 0, 1, 2. That's 3 games.
Maybe it does. Sorry, I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm mistaken.
Yeah. No, I try messaging me. Carlton Swans and St Kilda Blues with all the list changes. Also, Melbourne. Melbourne have a lot of changes as well. It will be huge to see what happens there. Ready at R3 is a no-brainer. He'll play games for sure. Probably not solo until Peter gets hurt. Yep, sure, yeah. Got it.
Just depends with your R3 if you're going to go loophole or no loophole. Because he does have ruck. So he does have forward eligibility. So depending on how many forwards we actually have that are decent rookies kind of determines if you're going to pick him or not. But yeah, that'd be my only thing. Happy to run Kalani White if he's never going to play and I don't run Max Gawn at R3. And then just have Reedy plodding along. I think my defense at the moment may have Dev Rob on field, Reedy and like someone else there. With Sid Draper floating around. So, yeah, kind of just how it works.
50-50 Briggs sucks. You can say that again. We loved Briggs last year, but I don't know what happened. The rumors are that his girlfriend broke up with him.
Mm-hmm.
How legit that is, I have no idea. But I've just simply heard that the rumors going around were that his girlfriend dumped him and he really was in the dumps. And we could see it. He had it tough on field. Very bad focus. I don't know what. Hopefully this year's a better year for him. Initiator, how you doing, man? And who are the locks so far? The locks, all of the Port players, essentially.
Apart from Horn Francis.
Just auto-pick Port Adelaide.
You know how sad it is too? Like, we joke about this, right? We're picking Todd Marshall in the forward line because he's going to play backline as like a intercept / key defender / kickouts. So we can't even escape the rookies. It is a tough one. I mean, we're lucky we're not picking Corey Durden, but I think for me, I've spoken about it a little bit. Rosie, Butters, Cherry, Sheasel are probably the biggest locks, one in each line at the moment, and then just building the team around the money you've got left, really. Opportunities to do a lot of things are really good, and there's a lot of very cheap or cheap enough defenders going down to like a Nick Newman price who could be jumping back up and being a keeper for them for Carlton. So there's opportunities across the board. Just depends on how risky you want your team and how many rookies, I guess, you've locked in.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. All right. Then we got thoughts on Bailey Smith's run because it's pretty juicy.
It's very juicy. I get scared away a little bit by the early buy players, but I have been trying to play around with having him or a Max Holmes, just for the fact that no one will pick him. Like, we're talking about Nick Dacos with Corey. I think Bailey Smith or Holmes's ownership are going to be even more, like even lower for guys that were locks in everyone's team last year. So, yeah, I don't think Geelong are going to get any worse. They'll still be really good Supercoach players, so we'll see.
If you just look at so what is Geelong's run? Let's have a look. Sydney, clear that out the way. Geelong. So they start with the Suns. That'll be tough, especially over there.
But it's opening round, so I don't care.
Yeah, so it's opening round, so it doesn't count. But it obviously counts towards the price fluctuations. And then Dockers over here at Goomba. Goomba again. He'll torch the Hawks. Norwood is small, but it is the Eagles. Then Goomba again. Yeah, that's a good run. Damn it. I swear I hate the Cats. They have so many advantages. So many advantages. Their ground is not even regulation. And they're just guaranteed all their wins except for 2. Their quota are 2 losses at GMHBA Stadium. That's enough wins to get them into finals. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't know.
So, Initiator saying that's if the game even happens in round 0 instead of thunderstorms or a cyclone. Imagine that, Joe. Imagine that. Be like, yep, they got an extra game later on. Round 0 doesn't count. Cool. Yep, no price changes for them.
Don't remind me about that. Well, that's why we've got Bailey Smith in our top 10 for our mids to end the year. So, yeah, absolutely worthwhile. Actually considering McCarthy from West Coast, training reports are that he is training exclusively in the midfield. So, could be a shout, could get some defensive DPP. Issue is, though, when he was moved on ball last year, his points significantly dropped. Pull up Tom McCarthy.
That's what I was going to bring up as well.
His points actually dropped after being moved. And now, let's be real, he was brought in literally mid-season, so he has never had a preseason before. But when he was getting very minimal CBAs, therefore predominantly playing off half-back, he averaged 99. And then when he started to get significantly more CBAs, his average dropped to 80. So he almost lost 20 points. He's not the cheapest either at this point now, McCarthy.
500K, basically.
Yeah, 500, basically 505K. If he's 505, and he's gonna give, and what he's gonna give you are 80s, then I'm not for it personally.
Yeah, I just think like McKercher, Bergman, they might not be the biggest pods, but I'd rather pick them for 50 to 60K cheaper to start your team. You're probably going to get better than considerable output, I think.
And but Perryman and yeah, remind me, Initiator. I want you to always remind me about the stupidity of picking those bums last year. All right, always remind me to not do that again.
And please. Roberts too. Roberts, remember Roberts, Joe? That was fun.
That was so bad. It does seem we have 100%. So many rookies, man. It's the year of the rookie this year.
And not even rookies. It's like not primos, but it's people who should have played last year but got injured, like your Jagger Smiths, even guys like Smiley, Mateus Philippou at 160K, Liam Reedy, who looks to be playing. Like, as juicy as it is picking Parrish and Young, like you could almost start a 6 primo mid and just fill up the rest of your team with rookies.
So the CWT, anyone who starts McCarthy is nuttier than squirrel shit. West Coast.
Joe, everyone seems to be making a Supercoach channel now. We've got CWT here talking Supercoach. We've got Paul Allen talking Supercoach.
Love it. There's going to be more Supercoach content creators than Supercoaches.
Yeah, man. Captain Flash making Supercoach content too. Like, get on
it. Exactly. It's the best. Jaden's asking if DeGoey or Treloar are worth taking.
Both are 100% track the preseason, and you won't pick them till after round 1. Sorry, after round 0. You can have a space in your team, but I think they have the potential to get to primo status. I'm talking about guys who are keepers or guys who are scoring 80s, 90s, 100s. But both coming off major injuries. I would put them in the same realm as maybe picking like a Brent Daniels or you know, if you hate Flanders, picking a Flanders as well. But big wait and see, I think. Like we're blessed for the fact that they play round 0.
Personally, I feel like I like De Goey more than Treloar. I think Treloar, firstly, is more injury prone.
I
Secondly,
like neither. Neither.
secondly, I don't think Treloar gets a lick of midfield time anymore.
Mm.
I think his body is so shot that the best we're going to see from him is playing high half forward. The best. It also has a lot of other people stealing points off him, whereas De Goey, I think De Goey has shown a number of years where he's capable of 96, 90, 85, and I think he's going to. There's not too many good midfielders running through the Collingwood midfield these days. I feel like it's going to be more. We're going to see a 60%, 70% CBA from De Goey. I feel like we're more likely to see De Goey midfield time and therefore more points than Treloar. That's just my spitballing off the top of my head. I'm not a Collingwood fan by any stretch. But who's running through that Collingwood midfield? I thought De Goey had periods where he looked really good last year. Obviously very injury riddled. If he stays fit and firing on the park, I'd prefer De Goey over Treloar, personally.
Yeah, I'm picking neither. Barring like something incredible happening, I'm just going to pick neither. I'd rather spend 100k and get Pickett, or a little bit more and get Flanders and a few others.
I don't remember him. I think I had 11 premiums last year.
Yeah, I think as I said before, I think 10 is the minimum. In previous years, we've moved a little bit away from guns and rookies. We may be going a little bit back towards guns and rookies. But if you do that, you're probably not saying, well, I'm not going to pick Young or Parrish. What happens with Bergman and McKercher? Like, are we considering them to be primos? Are they mid-prices? We don't have as many auto locks in the forward line either. Like, Flanders could still shit the bed. Cosy Pickett and stuff could still shit the bed. So you might not even consider them to be in your 10. And that's kind of where the number changes a little bit.
Yeah, exactly right. Do we have the same number of boosts? Yes, we do. Still the 5 boost pool. That hasn't changed.
Yep.
Aussie abroad, I think Sweet at R2 could definitely work. Thank you. Also, what's our thoughts on Willem Dersma?
It's been interesting. I've been watching a lot of Dylan Alexander content at the moment. Really worth a watch if you haven't already. But he talks about Dersma being super athletic and things like that. But in his kind of 18-year clubs, not knowing what position he's going to play, I would 100% wait for him. And it might be a year where we don't pick the number one pick and say, okay, you're auto locked in our team. You're guaranteed 100 plus. I don't know if he plays back. I don't know if he plays midfield. Not sure if he plays on the wing. I doubt he plays forward. But it's very much a watch and see over the next couple of months to see. He should play round one, but it's a little bit tricky. And, you know, go back to the age-old, well, I can get a rookie on field costing 90k cheaper. That's the difference between me picking someone like picking LDU and Callahan, for example, and I know which one I'd rather start. So, yeah, it's watch and see, I think, with him. It's not an auto lock midfielder like Sheasel, like Nick Dacos was in his time. Sam Walsh. Who did we have last year, Joe? That was number one pick.
I know this.
Ashcroft, baby Ashcroft, other baby Ashcroft. Well, yeah, that was Dersma, but who was like 2024? Was that? Wasn't Ashcroft?
Lawler, of course.
Yeah. So it's going to be one of those kind of situations, I think, where maybe they don't come off to the biggest start as what some people are hoping. There definitely seems to be some really, really good ready-made players. We'll see.
He's guaranteed to play every single game, and he will play important roles for his team. The thing with Willem Dersma is that he is just so talented and versatile that he can play anywhere on the field. Literally. He can literally play anywhere. If it's not on ball, it's more likely going to be halfback flank. So could be a position where he is having a very Supercoach friendly role. I'm not ruling him out just yet. I am more than happy to assess over the preseason, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing predominantly halfback and occasionally will have some stints on ball, and we could see potentially DPP for him. The only concern I have is if he's going to play wing, then that will be bad. I don't want to spend 200,000 plus for a winger. So definitely someone that we're going to have to keep paying attention over the preseason for sure. Initiator, Sam Darcy, Ruck, DPP, when? Good question.
That's interesting. I think guaranteed by the bold prediction. Guaranteed by round 18. Guaranteed. Guaranteed probably by the second one. I don't know what their fixture's like and what the makeup's going to be, but he's obviously the number 2 ruck. So I think by middle of the year.
Yeah, exactly. There's always injuries that happen before the season starts, but I think these are players that have now had another preseason under the belt. They're more ready to go. They're going to thrive. They're going to be great Supercoach picks for us. Crazy thing with Brisbane is even without Licky Neal. Exactly. Like it's disgusting, Tatum. Very Licky Neal.
Yeah. Aspinall's apparently really good too. So watch out for him as well, Joe.
Watch out. Here comes Licky Neal. Yes, love it, Initiator. Great callback to the Spider Pig from earlier in the season. Absolutely love it. Poet, and he knows it. Not Supercoach related, but do you guys think he'll do a ladder predictor? Yeah, sure.
100%.
A good ladder predictor.
Yeah, 100%. We'll do it.
Yeah, Byzantini. Nah. He's clearly very young, clearly very skinny and very raw. We've got Blackiston. I think Blackiston's going to be our guy until Brian comes back. Then what happens from that point on will be interesting. Byzantini, I think we're just going to let him develop in the VFL where he needs to develop. We threw him. He really was ragdolled, unfortunately, the poor kid. We played him against the Giants. Briggs ate him alive. We played him against Fremantle. Jackson had like 4 goals and 30 disposals, something ridiculous. He's got talent, but it's way too early for him. Jord04, is Shrek a viable option, or should we disregard him entirely?
I'm 100% waiting to see what happens with Jackson. I think ever since they started playing together, they've never become a viable option. Jackson a little bit different because he was available in our forward lines and things like that last year. But in terms of just like starting the year scoring, I don't think he's cheap enough. So you're not getting like a Draper where it's like, oh, 350K. Even if he's not a primo, he's going to score me 90s, and then he ends up being making 100K. Okay. But I don't think that Shrek is going to be that guy. And maybe if they had round 0, you could take a little bit of a punt on some like talk and things like that. But yeah, I just don't think you can really do it.
Yeah, I was so big on him last year. He was literally my icon, but I can't do it. I can't do it this year. Yeah. Not for me. Later Briggs sounds great. Excellent. Heard the same. Yeah, about Briglet. Yeah. Poor Briggsy. Yeah, sort of answer that about Tom McCarthy. Any Richmond players on your watch list? I am tracking Lawler, Michael. Mm-hmm. I think Lawler is a real fair shout in my forward line. If he's going to play midfield, could get that mid DPP action, could see him really outperform his price point. Because, this kid's a Jet. Inherited the number 4 from Dusty as well. So it's all coming up Lawler at this point. So I'm considering him, considering Banks. if
Yeah,
he is
I
the
was
main
coming to
distributor. Oh, sorry.
No,
Did you
all
have
good.
anyone else?
No, just banks really. There's some options around that kind of price point, 430 to 450k. Banks is definitely in there alongside Newman and a couple others. The problem I have with Richmond, butting into Joe right now, is that a lot of their good players played last year. So like Grill and Cumming, you can kind of say, okay, if they come on, they're going to be fantastic. But a lot of the guys you would love to pick up at 150k and now 2 to 300k because they played a lot of their kids last year, which isn't bad for us, but in terms of super coach opportunities, it's not fantastic.
Yeah, Grill is great. He really is the sizzler for good reason. I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
Simulation's going to
Initiator's
be
talking
like.
here. That is not how you spell his name, but there is someone that Joe and I did flag last year. I believe it was last year or the year before. Someone that they got rid of. No, it was Rashenko. Patrick Rashenko, they got from Geelong. Yeah, so he's one to watch, I think. Good, mature age body that's come from a good system that could play early. 119k mid. Just one to watch, I think. And Josh Gibkiss, I mean, like everyone's favorite.
Oh, of course.
Does he finally get a run? We'll see.
Everyone jumping on the Filippo train again. He's got to start.
You have to, right? Last year, people picked him at 330k. Why are you not going to pick him at the price before? Even if he scores 70s, he makes you enough money to not care in your forward line.
Joe, will you continue to do some live Thursday night games? I love tuning into them last year. Very fun community here. It is, Jack. It's a wonderful community here. Shout out to all you legends out there. Will I continue to do lots on live? Look, I do live further out than in terms of where my new job is. So it can be a little bit hard for me to get things organized. But I think I might be able to manage it if I'm not staying back late at work for some reason or another. I think I might be able to do more of those Thursday night games. I won't be able to probably. Sorry?
Just sleep at work. You don't have
sleep at work. Yes, exactly.
Work.
But I'll try. I really enjoyed doing the Thursday night games as well. I thought that was really good fun. I thought we were getting some more numbers as well, week after week, which was pretty good. It was a shame most of them were really crap. So hopefully next season, the Thursday night games are a little bit more exciting, but I'll definitely try and keep doing them for sure. Super Blue Iris, good to see him, mate. Zach Bailey likely gets Neil's midfield time.
But we'll see. They've got a couple of players moving through. Does leave guys like Levi Ashcroft get a little bit more. But Zach Bailey could be the one, Joe, that they have to try and appease and say, hey, mate, I know that you've got a few clubs looking for you, but we're going to try and keep you, and whatever position you want to play this year, we'll let you do it. So we'll see what happens.
Also, potential opportunity for Dan Hannibal to come in. Could be another good rookie for us, potentially. Bailey, is it crazy to run English and sweet? I don't think it's crazy at all.
No, I think it's okay. Just have to be a little bit wary of English's early buy.
Yeah,
that's probably about it. Yeah.
Sherry's run.
It's different, Bailey, and that potentially that's something to be scary of, but it's different.
Imagine he's playing Reedy here.
Yeah, Blackiston and Reedy and Sammy Draper
and
Flynn,
yeah,
Bailey Williams. The only thing that hurts Cherry is potentially the ruck rules, and I don't know if anyone's gonna know that until probably a couple of games into the season, barring round 0. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Overconfident Crom supporter, welcome, mate. What's your best tip for first year Supercoach? Played fantasy for 4 years. Good time to come in.
Yeah, fantastic time to come in. Welcome to Supercoach. I think one of the biggest things that fantasy has over Supercoach is the fact that you guys have unlimited trades. I think trade management and not making such a risky starting team. Risky starting team is good because you've got a few pods and you typically have a few more price to performance players, but means that potentially you have to spend a lot of trades early, and a lot of Supercoach people finish their team or finish all their trades like round 2021. So if you can manage that a little bit better and have a couple of trades, because there's always like injuries that happen after the second bye that just murder people, right? I mean, I had Caldwell, I had Chera for a while, went from rank 250 to like 15K just from a couple of injuries. So if you've got trades or you've got enough and your trade management's really good, I think you'll do well. That's probably the big thing from me.
For me, I'd probably say be patient in the premiums that you've selected them for a reason.
Yep.
And if they have one off week or they have one bad matchup, don't be so quick to just pull the trigger and get them out of your team ASAP, because you have burn to trade. And if you want to get them back in, so you might not be used to that limited trade situation. Give them a week, give them 2 weeks. Don't be looking specifically at them at just their scores. Look at the role. Has there been a role change? If there has been, okay. Is there a reason for that? Oh, this player's injured. When does he come back? In 3 months' time. Okay, yeah, no, he can piss right off. So don't be overly emotional. Try and just be as cold and calculated as you can. Are Euland and Patterson best 22, or is it 23 now?
Well, now it's best 20. Yeah, now it's best 23, mate. I've got to start changing all my lingo online. I say, oh, he's not a best 22 player, but maybe people are best 23 players. It's going to be interesting. Do you want to jump in on the 2 rookies, Joe, or do you want me to jump in?
I will, but I just want to say, Woody, great shout, is also an importance of picking players that have good disposal efficiency. In fantasy, it did not matter. Yeah, a touch is a touch. It did not matter what ended up happening from that touch. In Supercoach, you lose points for clangers and turnovers. You lose points, so it's really important that you pick players that have got good disposal efficiency, and don't be shocked and surprised. Like Jordan Dawson, for example, normally the wonderful ball user, but he gave me hell last year because for some reason he misplaced his kicking boots. And despite him normally being a great ball user, he was atrocious last year, and he kept losing all of these points when otherwise, if it was in fantasy, he would have gotten all those points. So 100% Woody. Great shout.
Yeah, it's like Tom Mitchell with his 40 touches and 100 Supercoach, because they're all not that great.
Exactly.
Matt
back to the rookies for Paul. I think Euland is closer to being best 23 than Patterson.
Yep.
But I am no Gold Coast Suns supporter. Definitely something that we're going to have to keep tracking over the preseason. But I think Euland is ready-made, or basically. And he was a lock for a top 5 draft pick from last year. You know how Harley Reid was sort of being hyped up from the year before? It was a bit like that with Zeke Euland. And there was a world where Zeke could have gone 1 or 2. Just how good he is.
Yeah, if you guys want to listen to it on the drive from Adelaide to Melbourne on Saturday, which was cool. Coaches panel, shout them out. If you haven't already, jump on and have a look at their not breakout candidates one. The video that came out super early into the season, most relevant rookies with Dylan Alexander video, talks about Patterson and Uland. As Joe says, I think Uland is the guy that should play. They've just got to find a spot for him. But my understanding from watching the video is Patterson plays like a halfback distributor type role. Was picked up, I think he was academy, so fantastic for him. But he's got to compete with Rioli, with Noble, and then Powell as well. So there might just not be a position. And Yuland potentially too. So there might just not be a position for him to play early. If you watch the video though, say Centre Bounce sent you, so you guys so they know who's there. But yeah, that's my understanding and distinction between the two there, Paul. You're okay with picking Uland, wait for round 0, but Patterson might not play early because there's some decent players in front of him, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would love to start Supercoach channel, but it's only my 3rd year, hopefully next year.
Man. Pick him.
Full send it, bro. Full send it.
Start it up. You just jump in front of your webcam and say, hey, this is my team. No expectations, just have fun. And if you like, talking, go for it, really.
Exactly. No sub rule will most likely allow ritual law to be tested, more likely rested, I think. Non-AFL related talk here, 76 a great start for me. Good to hear. Put it out.
Nice.
Positive down.
There you go, Jack. Congratulations, mate. Very happy for you.
I'm now going to be a dad. Oh, congrats.
Oh, locked in, buddy. You're happy as. Congratulations.
5 days in.
Hopefully that's Big J this year. We'll see.
5 days in, Jack is living the life. Congratulations, mate. Mm-hmm. All the best. Safe delivery. We'll be praying for you and your missus. Woody, actually disagree with the need for more rookies. Overall, TOG will go down. I expect this to disproportionately affect younger players.
Yeah, it's something interesting that I've kind of played around with as well, is having a look at a few more of your players that have super high TOG. The 25th man will take a few players around, but there'll be less rotations now. So I always look back at Goldstein playing almost 100% game time, a Tristan Cherry being similar. There's always 1 or 2 defenders that play the entire game. So maybe factor that into it a little bit as well. Your high impact burst players might have to rest a little bit more on field, like rest either on field or on the bench, which could obviously affect their scoring. So yeah, just something to have a little bit of a look at. I don't know if Naz played 100% game time, but potentially could have been close. There definitely are a few defenders though that are right up there. So maybe stack your defense and just say, okay, like my guy's going to play the whole game. They're going to score heaps.
It's a wonder what teams are going to do if they're going to play 2 rucks.
Well, yeah, 2 rucks. I've seen Freo have 4 forwards or something stupid. Like what's going on, Joe?
It'll be interesting to see how different teams will have different takes. I know Adelaide's continuing to stack up with key forwards. And Fremantle are continuing stacking up rucks. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how different teams tackle it. I think after this year, we'll have a lot more sample data to then be able to read next year, 2027.
I think we'll end up seeing a lot more maybe rookies debut, but not getting as much game time on field. I can totally see a thing be like, hey, we want to blood you as a defender or blood you as a forward and things like that, but you might not be ready to play 100% game time, or, maybe it's a bit more of a liability. If you do, you're going to be the guy that gets stuck on the bench for a fair amount of time. And then just comes in when 2 or 3 guys from your defense is done. So maybe like a Will Dawson, for example, from a North Melbourne or something like that.
Yeah, could just end up seeing more rotations through midfields, for example. Could see more rotations going through there rather than having quantity of time, they might have good quality time playing stints on ball, but we'll see, I suppose. Dersma will be good for the team, but for Supercoach, I can't see it working. He'll play wing, won't play every game, and most likely ends up a slow burn like Foss of 25. Okay, there you go. Thank you, CWT. Appreciate it. Mark Lavelle. How you doing, Mark?
How you
going,
Mark?
Good day, gentlemen. Good day to you too. Good, sir. My best for the new year to you and as well to you, Mark. Bombers top 18, Joe. Bro, take it to the bank, Mark. Take it to the bank. We're not getting relegated this year. Bailey says Dersma will be playing halfback flank. He doesn't have the frame to play in mid position yet. It will be Dersma and Baker as the distributors.
Well, there you go. Definitely one to watch over the preseason. We'll
playing wing.
We'll do that.
Nass, Rosie, Butters, Rouse, Smith, Anderson, Sherry, Sneasel, Pickett, Flanders. So probably eight, 8 players. That's rough. Hey, good to see you, Ben. Hope you're doing
What's
well.
up, Ben?
Happy New Year. Desmond will miss 3 or 4 games. They rested Harley twice in his first year, and even then they thought they cooked him too hard. So I can't imagine they'll make the same mistake twice. I feel like Harley is a different type of player to Dersma, though. I feel like Dersma's more professional. Harley was more of the burst. I don't want to say stringer type player, but he really was a player who played in bursts. He wasn't the endurance professional. He was very much the strong, bustling through people. So they're definitely different styles. But yeah, there will not be. I can't imagine that they will be putting young Dersma through the ringer. There's no expectations for them this year. Oh, the Geelong boy Richmond picked up.
Yeah, I think that was the one.
Yeah, Banks and Grill, Rechko, yes, very quick. Running Gibkiss is like running Reed or Philippou.
I hope for Philippou's sake that his career doesn't end up like that. Like, the guy had so much talent, and you knew what he could do when he popped out 100 numbers in Supercoach a few years, and yeah, just a bit of a shame.
So, Big J, what is your thinking on North Melbourne? Where are you going to finish?
It's really tricky. I mean, I could speak on this for a while. I should probably do a North Melbourne channel, but I just don't have enough time. It's really tricky because you think your team's going to get better, but you're comparing against the entire league, right? You could get better and stronger and have better players, but then if the entire league is at a comparable rate or they just get stronger due to players going in, we probably don't beat Brisbane, but potentially we do beat Brisbane instead of drawing with them this year.
This is your fixture. Tell us what happens. How do you start the year?
Let's say loss versus Port, but beat
win.
Eagles, beat you
win.
guys. Yep,
win.
Beat you guys. Good Friday. I want to say we actually win Good Friday. We haven't won a Good Friday game in like 4 years, but if like we actually have a midfield and Wardlaw's fit and a few others, we could pull one out of our butthole. No Kerno kicking bags, so no, we lose against Brisbane. That's all right. I think we drew that game with them last year.
You did,
yeah. So Richmond we win, and then the fixture gets a little bit tougher. So if we end up 8 or 9 wins, wherever 8 or 9 wins puts us on the finals.
3-2, 4-2. So you're 4-2 to start the year.
Yeah, it's not bad. If we have, let's say, I want 9 wins, and Mark, wherever 9 wins gets you into the season.
How many did you have this year?
5. 5, but a lot of very close
5
games.
wins in the first 6 games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 9 wins is good.
Absolutely.
Like we play you guys twice, we play Richmond twice, and we play Eagles twice. So you'd think that's 4 wins against West Coast and Richmond, hopefully. So another 5 wins for the rest of the season isn't terrible. Barring.
I'm sorry, you're not beating us round 3.
Well, that's why I didn't have you on the list. I didn't say you guys are 2 wins.
You're not beating us in round.
Well, we're going down to the Essendon versus North Melbourne game at Marvel Stadium this year. We're going to go and watch it. That will be the bash if you guys want to do it, and we can do it again because we'll play again later on in the season. So we've locked in 2 games, Joe, that the fans can come and watch us.
And love it, Mark. I think best case scenario for us, best case is we finish 10th. Worst case, I reckon we finish 14. I think we're in that range. I think we're in the 10 to 14 range. I think we are in the no man's land bracket. I don't think we're not challenging. We're not contending. But I think we have sufficient players on the park to get us out to have us not be bottom 4, but not enough talent to be competitive against the top 8. So I think we're in that no man's land 10 to 14 bracket. Mark, that's my call. Is there a way to view your starting team from last year? To view your starting team?
Not without making content, I don't think. So maybe you can look at previous year's trades, but I don't think so.
Is there a way to go to history? Oh, I'll only tell you the history of your.
It will say trades though. It won't say. It won't.
Yeah,
show
it will just tell you the trade. It won't, yeah, you can't see what your starting team was. So unfortunately, it's a no. Unfortunately, hopefully Anderson from Collingwood gets a run. Hopefully.
Yeah, and he's another one, right? So alongside Rashenko and a few others, this goes back to the: do I want to pick Dersma at 200K or do I want to pick Anderson? That I think he's a mature age player that won the VFL best and fairest, like who I think probably could play from round one. If they have comparable scoring, I know which one I want. So
exactly. In terms of how points are scored, sorry for that.
Yeah,
okay, you've convinced me. I've gone English up to Sherry and Roby down to Smiley. Yeah, that's fine. Roby's he's going to be in an impact type of role, which means in games where we don't win, he won't score very well. Thanks, Legends. I'm locking in this year. Excellent. In planning a structure, asks Jamie Camilleri. In planning a structure, what number of premiums and rookies should you target as a split?
Typically, historically in Supercoach, you've normally gone 3 to 4 defenders, 4 to 5 primos, depending on who you've got and how many mid prices, 2 primo rucks, and 3 to 4 primo forwards, depending on which mid prices you have. That's kind of how it's gone, and then fill in the numbers with the rest. So they call it like, let's pretend 3, 5, 2, 3 is the structure of primos, and then you fill in rookies with the rest. Obviously, that's affected by, like I said, your Parrish and your Hayden Youngs. You typically don't consider Kadeem Coleman as that, so he would obviously fill up another spot. Guys like Jamara and a few others in the forward line. So, yeah, it's kind of just how it works, I think.
Major at the moment is looking like Sharp is a locked. Agreed. He is looking very good on the track. Yeah. Steal, bro. Steal at pick 13. We played it very, very well. Very happy with him. Yes, he is ready-made. And you just know with Darcy Parrish's body always failing him and Jai Caldwell's body always failing him, you just know there's going to be times where Sharp is getting nice CBAs. So, yeah, absolutely lock him in.
And Farrow as well, Joe. I've heard some pretty good things.
Farrow's good. He's nice. He's clean. But he's not an accumulator. Yeah, but he's not an accumulator. So, and we're looking to play differently this year. We're not going to be doing those kicking backwards, playing keepings off, because hopefully we don't have that many injuries this year than as like we did last year. So last year, because we had so many injuries to defenders, we didn't have the courage to go fast with the ball, because if we turned it over, we were getting killed on transition. So we tried to play defense with the ball by playing keepings off. That's not how we're looking to play this year. This year we're looking to be a lot more aggressive, looking to have a lot faster ball movement. So don't expect to see a lot of our defenders getting lots of points just for those marks and kick side to side. Name the kid Little J. There you go. Name your kid Little J. Jack? You know,
maybe. I already got a name picked out. I've got that. Going back though, Joe, to your transition talk, I think a lot of teams are going to be doing that as well. Just with like how the game's going and a lot of teams picking up really quick players and stuff like that. That's going to be, we went from a time when it was kick marking to holding possession. Now it's just throw the ball forward as quick as you can with really good runners. Your Smith and Holmes and stuff like that type, they can just run down the field and not care.
Yep. Maltesing!
What's up, Maltesing? How you doing?
You've made it. Welcome. It has been long overdue. Happy New Year. Doing very well. Much happier now that you're here as well. Pies going under the radar. That they are. A lot of we're talking about Nick Dacos starting him, talking about DeGoey as well. So we'll be picking your brain about your Pies. So glad I'm back. I'm cracking up laughing with the predictions. I'm glad it's brought some joy to you. So you mean Essendon potentially contend for wildcard spots since they can never make the 8. Correct. Now we can make the 8. We can make finals. The problem is winning them. That's been our problem at Essendon. We've made finals before, but when we get there, we just get bungled out. So, hey, maybe wildcards is the way to go. Maybe we can't win finals in the top 8. Maybe we can win finals from 10. Who knows? Or dares to dream. Binger! Hey,
what's up, Binger?
Supercoach. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. You can go via leagues and select round 1 to see your team. Via leagues.
There you go. Sneaky Joe.
Very clever. Very clever. You're more than a pretty face, Binger.
View league.
More than a pretty.
Yeah, go view league. No, just whatever league you want from last year. Yep.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, any league.
And then, can you do like what the leagues were?
Results and fixtures, probably. And then round 1.
Round 1.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This starts in round 2. Sure. All right. Let's try a different one.
Maybe
this one. Did ours start in round 1?
Yeah, it should be.
It did.
Yep. And then you can have a look. Sneaky, mate. There you go.
Well, I can't even scroll. Maybe that's just a me problem. It's all right. Very well. Just listen to Binger. Listen to Binger. He'll tell you what to do. He's very good. He's very smart. Doing very well, my friend. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year break. Mark, I'm going to be in Melbourne for Anzac Day. I think the guys I'm with and going to the Dogs game, Richmond and Melbourne, St Kilda game. We gotta catch up for a beer, Mark. 100% got to catch up, mate. Absolutely. I feel like Joe and I should make a bet. First team between Richmond and Essendon to win the final from a wildcard spot gets a beer. Bro, initiator. It's going to be a long time before any of us wins that bet is the problem. We have to remember it. Years into the future. Might need to go back to when you did team reviews last year. Yes. That's also a shout, Paul.
Yeah, there you go, Paul. My question, Paul, is why do you want to know? That are you trying to have a look or what? Why do you want to know?
He's curious. Oh, guys, the Bears, Chicago made the playoffs.
There you go.
Calm the Bears. Up the Bears. George, great stuff, guys. Are we considering Sardis? I am considering Sardis, but not in any tremendous detail because he isn't cheap anymore. And there are quite a few midfielders that he has to be fighting for a spot in the side against. And what he's being earmarked for is a run with role, a defensively minded player. So I don't know what that is going to translate to him if that means getting more of the pill. He's definitely worked on his endurance and he has worked on his kicking. So he actually looks like a footballer now. Before he looked like a giraffe who just found its feet. But now he actually looks like a footballer. But I'm not going to go there personally. I think I'd much rather pay for either a true mid-pricer that has genuine upside. Like, what's his price at the moment? Elijah Sardis.
What is it? Like 212 or something, I think?
He's 212. And what's Darcy Parish at? 334.
Yeah.
You know, like for $100,000, you're getting a guy who's got a history of scoring 100, 105, as opposed to Darcy Parish, as opposed to Elijah Sardis. I'd rather go for someone who I am a lot more confident in. And so I'm either paying up for someone that I know, or I'm just going to go for a rookie that doesn't have to score as much to make even more money than Sardis, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That price point too is really awkward. Like, if you could guarantee your guy at 220K, let's say a Jamara or a Kadeem Coleman, for example, or Elijah Sardis can score 80s and 90s potentially, then it ends up being a good selection because they're not going to be a keeper, but they can score well, right? When you start to look at him and say, okay, I'm picking someone at that price who's scoring 60s and 70s, why would I just not pick a rookie and save 100K? So it kind of doesn't make sense, I think. And it being mid only, like I have primos in my midfield and then rookies, and that's it. Or your Hayden Young / Parrish.
Exactly. Is Merritt a play to start? Look, he
spicy.
He is. He's been wonderful as always. Hasn't put a foot wrong. He's a beacon of consistency. He basically averages 115. No early buy, average 115 basically every year. He's not going to have his role dicked around with, hopefully this year, because we don't have a repeat of all those crazy injuries from last year. His fixture isn't the worst. Hawks or North, Dogs, Melbourne, Suns. Like it's not an easy fixture, but it's also not the worst either. So it's fairly neutral. I'm not against Zach Merritt as a selection personally. He does have a few Marvel Stadium games as well to begin with. MCG Adelaide Oval, Marvel Adelaide. People first. We travel a bit. An MCG Marvel NG. No, ignore what I said about Marvel Stadium. There is no Marvel Stadium run. It's just not there. So you know what? Stuff it. Don't pick Zach Merritt.
I like Zach Merritt. I like him. Just waiting to see waiting to see kind of what happens with Zach Merritt, I think. But there is a very limited amount of good players at his price point in our midfields. Like if I look at it, Zach Merritt, 583K. Okay, no one's picking Lockie Neal. I want someone around that price. Maybe Caleb Sarong. And then you go down to like your Errol Gouldens, and then it's like nobody. So if you've got the money and you want someone, every year this guy ends up being a top 10 to top 11 player. If you can lock that in at 583K and say you don't have two buys, you're going to be scoring me 120 or 110 like every week of the season, hopefully. You can do a lot worse, I think, than pick Zach Merritt to start your team.
He's a good player. He's a very good player. Hey guys, Happy New Year, and to you too, James. If Will Day isn't ready for the start of the year, do you think Cam McKenzie can secure a spot in the middle, or will Dylan Moore and C-Mac be more likely? Moore looks better if he's in.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they want to try and blood someone like Ollie Greaves too, who's been doing very well in the preseason. Came in as a SSP player because no one picked him in the draft, and has just been just doing very, very well. So they might say, well, Will Day's out for a while, chuck him in there, blood him up, see how he goes, and that kind of thing. Might just probably not a like for like, but I would probably say, James, if you look at it, Will Day didn't play much 2025, so go off a little bit what the 2025 CBA matchups been, because it potentially could stay the same.
Yeah, if we're looking at the Hawks, it was Newcomb, Nash. Now, Warple's also gone.
Yep. So there is space. There is space for people to come in.
So there's space. Exactly. Ward got a bump in the back half, especially when McKenzie wasn't playing.
We flagged him in our breakout players video too.
We did flag in our breakout, exactly. So Cam McKenzie is an option, but massive butts at Hawthorn. Kobe, I need 3 defense players. Who would you pick out of Weddle, Roberts, McKercher, and Newman?
Have you already got Bergman? Kobe. Have you already got Bergman? I assume you do. I wouldn't touch Weddle. McKercher seems to be okay. Nick Newman's got the history behind him.
Yeah.
So it'd be those two plus maybe a Archie Roberts, Joe? Or what do we think about Roberts this year?
I like Roberts, but like I said, I think we're playing more direct football, so I don't know if he's going to get so much cheap. Yeah. If he's going to get so much cheap ball, but he is like a leader. So he does demand the footy, and we do love giving the ball to him, and he is happy to tuck the ball under his arm and go for it. So I'm not against Roberts. The question is, does Weddle play on ball? Because I've heard some rumors that Weddle is training on ball and could be featuring at centre bounces a lot more this year. What's Weddle's price?
I was going to say, before you jump in with that, Joe, Sam Banks may be an option to track as well.
And Sam Banks as well, exactly.
Yeah. If you don't have Bergman, get Bergman.
Yeah, Bergman.
He's playing majority mid, scored like a 110 average when he had something like 40% CBAs last year, and their early fixture is phenomenal. Like, you could go start Bergman now and get Naz potentially in like 5 weeks. So, it's just very, very good.
Blackiston's also a lock for start of the year playing under the back. Yeah, well, he's going to be playing in the ruck as our main ruckman. So I've had teams where I'm trying to tinker and seeing if I could get Blackiston here in the flex, and then have a ruck defensive DPP there. So I am considering how I'm going to finagle it. I think it's possible, but yeah, I am looking to get Blackiston in my starting team as well, because he will be our number one ruck to start the season off. I just don't know if that persists after Brian is back, but that's a problem for that stage of the season. He would have made his money by then because he's not that expensive. If you look at Blackiston, I think he's under 300k. Yes, he's 295.
295, yeah.
So it doesn't have to really average a lot to make you 150,000, especially if he's a number one ruck. So it could be a situation where you start Blackiston maybe in the flex, and then when Brian comes back, Brian's 257 himself. So you could end up making 150k on Blackiston to release that 150k to go back to Brian, and then Brian could make another 150k. You could make $300,000 just on these two Essendon rucks. So
and defensive ruck DPP is going to be interesting.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. Joe, do you like Essendon's first half fixture? Having the second last mid-season bye, would you consider Caldwell to give you consistent scores? Well, Jai Caldwell, I love him. Love Jai. He's a warrior. He's a beast. He's definitely going to play. He's obviously also had some injury problems in the past, struggling to stay on the park. But when he is on the park, he's a bloody good footballer. Do I like our fixture? Look, no one's ever going to put any time or attention into him. They're always going to look straight at merit. No one's ever going to tag Caldwell. So Hawks midfield, are they tough to score against? Probably not. Port, they're quite tough. North, that's probably their strongest area, the midfield.
Yep.
Doggies, forget about it. They're the black hole. They take all the points in the midfield. Melbourne could be good. Suns, at people first, rough. Collingwood, I can see him doing all right there. Brisbane at Marvel, I don't know. It's not a great fixture. I do not think it is a great fixture for us, to be honest. When does it open up? Richmond, Eagles, Carlton, Melbourne, North, Saints. Maybe this stretch here, just before the bye, we start to get a bit of breathing room with Richmond and West Coast, and Melbourne. But yeah, I don't really like our fixture, personally. I'm not a big
The thing with Caldwell for myself is every year I select him, he's cheap, and every year he gets injured, unfortunately. So I think I've done it 2 years in a row, and he's hurt me 2 years in a row pretty hard. So I'm just like, never again. Injury-prone players going back to what forget what his name was, talking about Supercoach and the differences. Injuries just murder you so much.
Yeah.
Like perpetually injured players. Like I'm not picking Will Day, is for the same reasons I'm not picking Caldwell, unfortunately.
Mark, I don't think Merritt will do a Danaher simply because Merritt's not out of contract this year. He's still got next year as well. So he can't Danaher had just the 1 year left on his contract, so he can't do it. I only have Butters, Callahan, Golden, Ashcroft, and M4, but I like a certain player from Essendon as a mid only. Caldwell to me is screaming for a huge season. Look, I love Jai. Jai, I always tell him to gyrate on people. I absolutely love this guy, but I don't know, man. I don't know if Parrish is fit and healthy, you know. There's a lot of point sharing.
Yeah.
Merritt, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. It's hard to read. Because also my problem is because I'm a supporter, I can be hella biased.
Yeah, you got your favorite.
Exactly. Like I can be hella biased, and I do not want to take people down the garden path. You know what I mean? And then he ends up being a bust, and he gets injured again, and everyone's like, "Oh, Joe, you told me to do it." No, I don't want to be the one to tell you to do it. I don't know. Pretty bad in that way. I have done a lot of ballsy things in my life, but I don't have the bollocks to go anywhere near any Essendon ruckman. True.
Yeah.
I think I will go down to training at the center of the universe and do a recap of Pie players that might be relevant. I will check training days. I think there could be some rookie reserve players. God bless you, Maltesing. You please do that. Please do that.
Send it through Maltesing. If you've got some photos as well, we'll chuck them up. One thing, Joe, that I've been wanting to do this preseason that I haven't seen many content creators do is do like recaps of how teams are going and things like that in terms of training. So more photos and things like that, if we can get it, the better it is. Jump on these players, get some extra content outside of, these are the mids that we're picking and stuff like that. Because, preseason chat of how your best players are going is the way to go, I think.
FYI, and they looks nut, Lions nut, and they're Lions nut, and someone who knows Fagan personally, I would highly recommend starting Draper. He's in my flex at the moment.
Yeah, it's I don't know about Joe, but I watched going back to coach's panel. It was a healthy 9 or 10 hour drive, so I had a lot of Supercoach to catch up on. DR talks about him, and Fagan's basically said, "Hey, you're going to play number one ruck." So that it's in itself has swayed my picking of Draper at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot to play out and round zero and stuff like that, but I think you should try and factor having potentially a Sheasel, Pickett. Sheasel, Pickett, Flanders, and maybe a Draper, or maybe no Pickett and throw a Draper in our forward lines to start the season.
That is not a great run for Rucks, is it, though?
He's cheap, though, Joe. He's cheap. Like, if he scores 90, if he scores 90s, he's making you 100K. Like, and he's scoring 90s in our forward lines. He's a top 7 player already.
All right, if you say so. Caldwell and Durham both look like hulks and training hard. That they are hulks, bro. Love me Sammy Durham. Love me some Sammy Durham. If you had to pick one, Sarong or Zeret?
Pull up Frio's fixture, Joe, because we haven't actually talked about it yet. I think Freo post like round 4 or 5 have a really good run.
Pretty good already. Melbourne,
yeah, Richmond. They play them, and then they play Eagles, and then a few other teams. So I don't mind the wrong pick. it's juicy. You just got to realize though that they don't tag Brayshaw, or Brayshaw breaks out of tags. They go after Sarong. Now that could change a little bit if Hayden Young's in the team and playing bulk mid minutes. Then cool. But that's my only question, and that's why he's a little bit cheaper than the other player. Versus Merritt, who should be number one mid, you'd assume, popping you out a 110 every week, hopefully. Who would you say has a better ceiling? Who would you say has a better ceiling, Sarong or Merritt?
I like Sarong.
Okay.
I like Sarong. No one's going to tag him. No one's tagging him here. No one's tagging him here. Yeah, I like Sarong. Big J, are you hopeful LDU can just get that season that we have always wanted?
Jack. I love me some LDU, I have to say. I think as I'm going to be as diplomatic as I can say this, I think as North Melbourne gets better, LDU will get better because there's not as much focus on him like throughout the game. You know, you've got to tag a Sheasel, you've got to tag a Wardlaw, you've got to put more attention on those other players. He needs it. He needs a big season. We're paying him enough money to do it. He's a good player. It's just consistency, and I think as North Melbourne gets better, he'll get better. So I'm hopeful, but I don't know if it's this year. Maybe next year. He's getting older, though. It's crazy. Yeah.
Is it LDU just LD Merritt?
No, I wouldn't say Zach Merritt. Who's an AFL player? I don't think it's Zach Merritt.
No, it wouldn't be Merritt, no.
It's not a Josh Dunkley. I'm just thinking, like, who from the AFL is interesting. I'll have to have a think about it.
He's a unique player in that he clearly has talent.
Yeah, it's all mentality. When you've been at North Melbourne,
it's at a second year.
But that's what I'm saying. When you've played at North Melbourne, and I think Clarko, like I heard something on SEN about it. Like Clarko's coached 3 years now. Let's say something like 69 games or 66 games, and he's 11 wins, 53 losses. Like the LDU ratio is bananas. So if you're guaranteed, like you've got a 25% chance to win a game when you go out and play the game, you probably wouldn't get out of first gear either. So as the team gets better, I think he'll get better as a player. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, you hope so, but yeah, that's a great comparison. The way he can, when he turns on the jets, he just effortlessly glides away from the stoppage, from congestion. So CWT here, if there's a year where LDU is going to go bang, this is it. His best matchups twice. North should be better as a whole. Has a pretty good start to the year as well in terms of fixture. I feel like this is the year. I feel like this is a year where you can. I mean, what is he priced at, LDU?
520. He always starts the season at like 520K.
Yeah, there you go. 526. 527.
Yeah.
But then Poet and Jack are both asking about Wardlaw.
And he's another one too, that potentially can have the breakout. His body's the only thing that's holding him back. If we look 100%. At some scores from last year, 100 plus, 100 plus, 100 plus, like he's ready to go. These gun-ho players, the ones that just like go crash and bash, takes them a little bit longer for them to get their bodies right to the point where their body can stop them from getting injured. And I think Wardlaw is slowly getting there. If you look at some of the pictures of Wardlaw training, he's just getting big. Like, big. So, one to watch out for, but he can only play mids. So, bulk CBAs are incoming. It's going to happen. It's just about him not hurting himself. But in terms of Supercoach, I wouldn't go near it. I think there's better options.
look. I'm going to look at games where he's had at least 50% CBAs.
Yeah.
Let's see, and where he hasn't been injured, of course.
Yeah. Now you're going back to his like.
We're going very far back now.
What year is that? Year as well. Like I think he debuted in 2023.
So this is the last 2 years in games where he hasn't been injured, and where he's had at least 50% CBAs, 87.7. So look, you just know this kid's going to be really good.
He's waiting to go.
This could be a year where you say, stuff it. We're not going to be reactive. We're going to call it. And we're going to manifest it. And you start these players.
That's a no thanks, because I tried doing that last year and that didn't work. So
yeah, but we did it with bums. We didn't do it with players who you know what the role is 100%. Like Wardlaw, you know 100% his role is inside mid gun. LDU, you know what his role is. Like, we were way too speculative last year with the Peatling shit. You know what I mean? And the Perrymans and the shorts. Those were way too speculative. You know exactly what you're going to get from a Wardlaw type of player.
Well, midfield for me is just like, hey, I know that the rookies are typically really good. So I'd rather start the best players I can. And then if I have to play 3 rookies on field, I will. Because I'm not going premiums and rookies. Going mid-prices in the midfield really, really hurts. Like, you've got Hayden Young and Parrish at the moment. I get a bit funny about having those two. The only reason I potentially do is the fact that they both like have scored 100+ seasons before and are coming off injury. Like, manifesting and trying to reach the breakout player. I'd rather like not pick Wardlaw and then grab him halfway through the season than predicting trying to start him and then have to sideways.
Well, as we always say, you start the injury-prone risk. You don't trade them in.
I know.
And he'll be a lot more expensive by then as well.
That's all right, Joe. I'll pay the extra 150K on Wardlaw if I have to.
Big J, you took away my Tristan Sherry call. You know what? I'm not letting you taking away George Wardlaw. I want to start George Wardlaw.
Start him. Done. Start him.
How do we do it? Lads, how do we get George Wardlaw in this team? Do we have to drop one of these premiums? I like all of them, though. Unless we take, you know what? Nah, I can't. You know what? Yeah. All right. We'll get rid of Darcy Parish because it'll be too much trauma. Why can't I select Wardlaw?
Maybe refresh.
I don't have the money. Piss off. I don't have the money.
Drop Heaney.
Why?
Trade Heaney to Merritt and I'll let you pick Wardlaw.
Bro, Heaney is sexy, bro.
All right, where are we up to? Where are we up to?
It's not all right. So Heaney goes, all right, geez, everyone's just like saying, all right, no, trade Heaney. I swear, Heaney's gonna make you all eat your words. Guaranteed.
Maltesing, which coach is under the most pressure this year? I think someone like a Clarko definitely is. I feel like there's a few coaches who like have had that rejuvenation, or clubs that have recently got rid of players. I think Brad Scott has renewed his contract, so that's okay. Clarko definitely is. Voss definitely is, I think. And there's probably one or two others. I've heard Fly as well. I think he's recently re-signed, but there's a lot of Collingwood fans who are not very happy with how the trajectory of the club's going. So that would be my two, I think. Paul Allen.
North Melbourne?
I already said North Melbourne.
I said do I have enough North Melbourne? McKercher,
not enough.
LDU, Sherry, Shazel.
You need Doverston. You need Chuck Doverston in somewhere. Throw him in there, Joe. He'll play every game. Might not score much, but he'll play every game. How do you feel about Steele as a pick, Joe, before I give my thoughts?
I don't mind it.
Yeah. Is that the limit of your contribution there? You don't mind it?
I don't mind it. Yeah, that's the maximum limit.
Okay, fair enough. Look, I also don't mind it, but I think you can do a lot better, and the price point's really awkward. Like, he could stay at that price for a while. What are you expecting from him? Are you expecting hundreds? Are you expecting a 110? I don't know if his body's up to it. I would rather start the plays that I want to start, knowing that, my top 5 mids, I'll never have to trade for the entire season, versus a Jack Steele at 510K that if the selection doesn't work out, then I have to sideways him. He's probably the really scary thing for me at the moment, hence why I don't want to pick him. Let other people do what I think, Paul. Like him as a player, rather pick someone like Wardlaw. I assume this is the LDU. Excited for you, North. Yeah, I hope so. Like, looking back, our average in wins and losses and average in scoring is slowly going up. Percentage during the ladder as well is going up as well. So I'm hopeful this year may be a little bit different, and we have a couple more wins and start moving up the ladder. But it's really just we need that next crop of players to come in, because Darling's got like one more year, Parker's got one more year, Luke McDonald and Core have around that as well. And I don't think we've got the kids coming through with the AFL experience to cover those players. So it's going to be a really scary transition, I think, barring us actually getting good players to come in.
That is true. What do you guys think of Jamara? If he plays,
he's really good.
He's really good option.
He's really good.
He plays. But if he doesn't, obviously he's a no-go.
Yeah, for the same reasons why we're saying pick Rowell and Anderson. A fit Jamara is going to smash Richmond. Is going to smash West Coast. Like, he doesn't need to score a lot. He's not going to be a keeper, but easy 150 to 200K at that price, and you're onto it. Think like Powell Pepper and Levi Ashcroft and stuff. No, don't pick Lucky.
Hey guys, I was slow on the Star of Origin. It's all sold out here.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be big. Oh yeah, it will be massive. It will be massive. More teasing story over here in the West. Advertising Nick and his girlfriend. Interesting. Very interesting. Scott? Who's Scott? Brad Scott? No, he's not gone this year.
Oh yeah,
he's not got a lot of pressure.
Longmuir and Bevo as well, I think, are getting there.
Longmuir, they'll be fine. The Swans will be just fine this year. Longmuir under no pressure. Bevo, a little bit, yes, I agree. Typical Collingwood Winer has been around the club forever, been a member for over 40 years, and the club is like a semi-dormant volcano. It always is. I will say that about the Bombers as well. Like, we're always up there when it comes to attendances, average home and away attendances, and that's with us not having been good for over 20 years. Like, success always brings the supporters out of the woodworks, 100%. Larky is the key. Same with your young talent. Of course, Larky's a legend. I love Suv Larky, and his impressions are on point.
You mean Captain Larky?
Captain Suv. Love a good Captain Suv. All right, that's all done, and 2 hours and 18 minutes. I just thought of something fun right before we started. Thought it might be interesting if, with enough people, there's 46 people in here, that we could end the stream with a game of Gridley.
Go for it, Joe.
We're going to do it together. All right, guys? This is going to be community Gridley session. If you don't know how the game works, quite simply, it is that we got 3 columns here, 3 columns and 3 rows. The aim of the game is that we are picking the rarest options, the rarest players. These are AFL players, and the options are, for this one, a Bulldogs player who has played at least 250 games. You want to select a player that is the most obscure, that no one else is picking, and you get these different rarities. The aim of the game is that we want to have a grid that is full of super rare answers that no one else is doing, and then we finish really high on the ladder. If we're picking someone like Bontempelli, for example, the most obvious name in the world, he will be the most common answer, and
I don't think
therefore,
oh, yeah, cool. He has. Sorry.
or Tom Liberatore. You know, if we pick these guys that are so obvious, then we obviously will not get a good score for it. It will be a very common answer. How good can we go, ladies and gentlemen? Are we down for a game of Gridley, or do you want to say, stuff you, Joe? I don't want to do this.
No, I'll have some Gridley. Let's chuck it in. Maybe just finishing off the stream, something to have fun.
Don't come home, Jack. Stay away. The longer you're away, the more flags that they win. That's pretty good. Hunter Holmes going to go home and Geelong. Excellent. Yeah, great. Love to hear it. Big J to order a SUV every time lucky.
That might be a thing, man. Like, let's the kebab. Does kebab work? Because I don't really have a good SUV place around here. Initiator.
Nah, it's got to be a SUV.
There's nothing here, Joe.
It's got to be a SUV, bro. It's got to be a SUV. All right. You search for the SUVs, and we'll do this. Yes, I was thinking, Gia Woody. Ben, it is current and past players.
Yeah.
So any black and white era type player that you could think of as well will be excellent. But yes, I was thinking of Gia. Do we like Gia? Type.
Is he rare enough though? There you go. Initiator says it's okay. I have a good kebab.
Bro, they're not the same. They're not the same. They're similar. I'll grant you that, but they're not the same.
Okay.
Shawarma is better. All right.
There's no shawarmas near me.
There's no shawarmas. All right. All right. So, doggies. A doggy who has played 250 plus games. Yeah, I was thinking Gia. Do we all like Gia as the option?
We need like really obscure.
Yeah, we want them to be really obscure, 100%. As long as they're, I
don't think Ted Whitten's playing. Oh yeah, Ted Whitten.
I feel like Ted Whitten's pretty known, isn't he? I feel like Ted Whitten is fairly common. He's a very famous name. But then, a lot of people are saying Teddy Whitten. All right, so we'll go Ted Whitten. All right. Ted. Oh. Is it the junior or the senior? Is it senior, guys? Oh, thanks for joining, Paul. Much love, mate. Much love.
Catch you, Paul.
Please, if you haven't subbed, do so, please. Would be great. Barry Round.
Rohan Smith, Joe.
Rowan Smith.
Yeah.
Taylor Girate. Come on, guys. What? They were just giving me so many names. All right. John Giles. John Giles. For I spelled what the hell? It's Jonathan Giles, I think.
No, you've got it in the wrong spot. You're clicking the wrong spot.
This is so the Giles apparently is for the GWS Trelaw. Oh, true.
Yeah, so
GWS Trelaw. Yeah. Yes, correct. GWS Trelaw. Yep, and that's going to be Giles. All right. Jonathan Giles. Let's see.
Lock it in.
Yo, he's rare. Winner! Well done. Well done. So rare, 0.5%. You get this nice, beautiful burble. In Burble. Well, great call, Bailey Waring. Great call, mate. All right. You smashed it, mate. You absolutely smashed it. Exactly, Initiator. He only has a damn oval named after him. Not common at all. Okay, so senior. No, well, we probably won't go there. Brad Johnson. Brad's pretty common too. Barry Round. How many games has Barry Round played? Barry Round. Barry Round. I think Barry Round's a great call, actually. Barry Round has played. Oh yeah,
not enough.
Well over 250 games.
Not enough at Footscray though.
Oh, it doesn't have to be for Footscray,
doesn't it?
No, it just has to be
a Bulldogs player that has
a Bulldogs player who has played 250 plus games.
We'll chuck Barry Round in there. Let's do it.
I like Barry Round. Let's see. Barry Round is also a rare one, 1%. Well done. Great call. Who called Barry Round? Barry Round was a Mark Person. On your mark. Good stuff, mate.
All right. Jay Wilson, would you consider picking Nick Dacos? Yeah, I would, but you just got to factor in that early buy. But if you've got enough bench cover, it doesn't matter as much.
Yes. All right. Taylor Duray. Keep saying Taylor Duray. No, it's just 250 plus. Doesn't have to be for that one team. As long as they've played for that team and have played 250 plus. Taylor Duray. You keep saying Taylor Duray, Kobe. Is this in relation to the Doggies teammate?
How many would GWS even have? Not that many.
GWS, they would not have a lot of 250 plus. I mean, Callum Ward comes to mind, but he'd obviously be the most obvious selection.
Would you do has Will Hoskin Elliott or someone played enough? Like those guys that played at GWS and then got traded out?
Yeah, well, as long as I just don't want to search it up because that would obviously be cheating a bit. I mean, like Lockie Whitfield, for example, he's played over 250 games, but he'd be very obvious, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm. Chad Corns.
Did Chad play for GWS? Chad Corns.
There you go. Yeah, he definitely played for GWS.
All right. Well, and he's played 250 plus. So we'll go with Chad. If anyone's got a better one, Chad Corns.
Let's go.
10%. 10% gold. That's not bad. Hey, gold's great. Gold's
It's not purple. It's not pink, though.
Yeah. It's not pink. It's gold. All right. We love gold. Right. Jack Crisp. Yeah. We don't want obvious ones. Now, could I said Brian Lake for the Supercoach reference? It's okay. We don't want Terry Wallace is a very famous name, James. We want Peter McKenna is also a very famous name. We want them to be as obscure as possible. We want it to be as obscure as possible so they can be the rarest possible. Peter Dacos is also a very famous name, Jack. More senior, again, very, very famous. Tuddy Len Thompson, Collingwood player.
Here we go.
Who the fish is Tuddy Len Thompson? Len Thompson, like this. Len Thompson. All right, yeah, sure. Let's see. 2%. Okay, there you go. Very nice. Great one. Maltesing. Oh, Shaq. How are you? Happy New Year, Shaq. Season's over.
What's up, Shaq?
Over. We're playing Gridley, bro. We've given up on Supercoach. We're playing Gridley now. Love it. So, Shane Wakeland. Oh, I think I've already put in Len Thompson. Dom Tyson, North VFL legend for the GWS disposals. Dom Tyson.
All right, let's try it.
We'll give it a go. Dom Tyson. I hope he's averaged 25 plus because if we get one wrong, it's gone. Boom! Dom Tyson, 0.8%. Ooh, Bailey Warren.
I'm with Dom Tyson. I think I have Dom Tyson on my jersey back there.
Jason Cox for Trelaw teammate.
Oi.
Oh god, this is awesome. Well done, guys. Gavin Brown. What's the Gavin Brown for the Pies player? Okay, we need a Trelaw. All right.
Yeah, guys,
We'll go one
if you
time.
put a name and then just put us which spot you want us to put in, yeah? Just so we know. That's the only thing.
All right, for
and to shout it
the
out.
dogs. So for the dogs, we want a teammate for Trelaw. A dogs player, a player who's played for the dogs who was a teammate of Trelaw's.
So when did Trelaw come in? Is that 2022?
This one, who's an obscure Lockie Hunter? Could Lockie Hunter be a teammate of Trelaw's? Adam Trelaw. Came in 2021.
Okay.
And he was at the Doggies, yeah, from 2021. All right. So Lockie Hunter. When did Lockie Hunter leave? Lockie Hunter. Was there at the Doggies up until 2022. I don't know if that's fame, if he's too common of a name, Lockie Hunter, though. Josh Bruce? Yeah, that's a call. Absolutely a call. Josh Bruce. Who is more rare, Josh Bruce or Lockie Hunter? Probably Bruce, because he's not playing at the moment.
Well, you could just pick some random rookie, right? Like, could you throw like Ling John in there? Was Ling John playing the same time as as Trelaw?
Caleb Poulter played at the Pies and the Dogs.
Well, played with Trelaw at the Pies.
Jared Witts for Collingwood. Yeah, true. Did you... so who do we want? And where did you want it? Thomas Bugg or Jonathan... I think we've already used Jonathan Giles Shack. So we can't use him again. Thomas Bugg never played for either of these teams. So what do we want? We could do Jared Witts for Collingwood. But Poulter has been given a couple of times as well. So Caleb Poulter, where would you put him? Caleb Poulter would be... I don't know if people know that they were teammates.
Oh,
do people know that they were teammates at Collingwood?
Of course.
Because he's just retired at the Dogs now. All right, we'll go with Witts. Bailey has not let us down. Jared Witts. Bailey, your reputation's on the line here, bro.
Bailey with the W. There you go.
Can I call you Baywee? Baywee from now on? There are no L's. You have no L's. Only W's. You are now Baywee. Baywee Waring. Bang. 0.3%. All right. Oh, Jesus. That's insane. All right. This is looking really good so far. Josh Dunkley as a teammate of Trelaw.
No, it's too much.
It's very common, very obvious, Kobe. We want absolute obscurity. No one knows anything. Now, people were talking about 25 plus disposals for Collingwood. Jack saying Wayne Richardson. And Mark saying Jock McHale. Wayne Richardson, Pies average more than 25. Shout out to Brian Lake again. Yes, of course. As always. As always. All right. So what Maltesing? Who do you reckon? Who do you reckon Maltesing for the Collingwood 25 plus? Wayne Richardson or Jock McHale? Or do you have someone different, someone more obscure? Jock was coach and played back pocket. You're okay, so we're gonna go with Jock McHale.
Go for it.
Jock. Oh, Wayne Richardson. So you want Wayne? Okay. We'll go Wayne then. Go with my boy Wayne. All right, we'll go with Wayne. Wayne Richardson. 2%. Love it. Very nice. This is looking very good. This is a very good grid, a very great Gridley so far. All right. So now we need a doggies teammate with Trelaw. Could be Wing Jong or Ling Jong. What was his name?
I think he retired too early.
Mitch Wallace, True Shack. Mitch Wallace. Who remembers Mitch Wallace?
With the hair.
With the hair. Damn it, you know it. If Big J knows it, then he's not a good. Sorry, Shaq, your answer is top of my head. Yeah. If Jez knows who you're talking about, it's not obscure enough. Ryan Gardner, that's a lot more obscure. Lin Jong, that's what we were thinking, bro. Lin Jong. Are you sure he retired before 2021? Lin Jong.
No, don't do it.
He did not. He's fine, bro. Lin Jong.
All right, chuck him in. Chuck him
21. It literally crossed over.
All right, chuck him in.
Lin Jong, let's go. %.
Lin Jong.
Let's go.
All right. My suggestion, boys. One more.
25 plus disposals.
Yep. Doggies player.
For a doggies player. And they have to be obscure as fish.
Bunton Pilly.
Bro, I know. I'm shocked that Lin Jong only got 1%. That's really good. Tyson Goldsack. No way. But that's a good shout. That would have been rare as well. Tyson Goldsack would have been very rare. Ellie Dale? Nah, it's a common player. He's a current player. Current players are no-goes. You can't go for current players. Who isn't player? For the Dogs. Would people go Jack McRae?
Yeah, of course they will.
Terry Wallace, good call. Travis Tutt. The sack is back at the Pies. Oh, there you go. The gold sack is a black and white one. Pity Cox left. Could have the trio. Slide bottom Cox and sack. I love it. It's all right. You got the fly. You've got the fly at least. Still. Kennedy. Yeah, Matthew Kennedy. All right. I think we're going to go with. Look, Mark did very well for us. Mark got us a very good one. I'm willing to go with Mark again. I'm willing to go Terry Wallace.
Let's do it, Joe.
It was pink. It was pink. 2%.
There you go, boys.
18.9. Wow. All right. What does that mean? It was perfect. The average rarity was 116. Our rarity was 18.9. We smashed it today. Well done, team.
Is there a way you can save it?
14.9.
Can you save that, Joe?
Jesus. Leaderboard? Is there a leaderboard? I'll create an account for it. Let me just
We'll figure it out, guys.
move this here. I just have to see how this stacks, how this ranks, because that is an insane.
We probably got about
Rarity.
five more minutes.
Yeah.
There you go. Naturally recorded by. There you go. I know that. Yeah, I've got it. I might put up as a separate video though. Just see how we're going. There you go. Anyone got any last minute Supercoach questions while we're here? Just while Joe does his thing. There you go. Guys, if you haven't already, we will have some more videos coming out over the next week. So please like, share, subscribe, smash that sub button if you guys can. And don't forget about memberships too, if you guys want to contribute to the channel that way. When the season starts up, when it gets a bit closer, we'll start putting out some members-only stuff and members live stream. How many rounds? Here we go, Joe. How many rounds before you trade a Primo this year? Oh,
1.
oh.
No.
Nah.
All my premiums are dead set certified bangers.
Yeah, I think let's go round 4 potentially, but we'll see. It's more about just guys getting injured. I won't try and pick players that are too risky. So it's just about injuries, I think. 36. There you go.
It is the 38th best. 38th best for the whole round out of I don't know how many. I have no idea how many people there are, unfortunately. I don't know how to find that out. But 20 is insane, I think.
There you go. Will we be reviewing teams 100%? Probably need to get that in as soon as we can, though. So maybe we'll put that out soon. It does feel like what am I saying? Supercoach probably open, I reckon, around the 23rd. So it's the Friday before Australia Day, I think. So if we can get our team reviews done before that, just something exclusive for all the gold people. Hunter Holmes should get a game. There you go. Spoon, catch you later. And big boy.
Saw that before. Yeah, saw that before. Uncle Akka, you joined us right as we were finishing up for the day. Oh, thanks, James. Sorry, I missed the Terry Wallace call from before, mate. Apologies. But yeah, Uncle Akka, we just had a live stream, and then we just thought, you know what, might be fun. End the stream with a game of Gridley, and by golly gosh, we absolutely nailed it. Jack, how many beers will I be having this weekend? Over on the 12.5. Bookies are saying it's overs this week. Work Christmas party. Very nice. Overs. I'll go with the overs, mate. Thanks, James. Thanks, Mark.
That's a lot of beers, man.
It's lots of beers. Lots and lots of beers. But we love the beers. The beers are great. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all had a wonderful evening with us. I know we did. It was great fun. If you liked the Gridley and you wanted to see it continue every week as a finishing final game, please let me know. I thought it was a bit of fun. I thought we absolutely nailed it. So, yeah. But always open to suggestions, of course.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, as well, keep an eye out on Twitter, on Facebook. We might do it through our Facebook page again. Twitter, Facebook, community posts for a link to rate my team for gold selection. That should be coming out soon. Nice little video for you guys that have purchased gold. Members live streams will be starting up again, probably in February, heading into preseason. Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. Expect some more videos hopefully out this week as well. Keep up the consistency because you guys seem to like it and view it and comment and stuff. So it's been fantastic for us.
because we here at the Centre Bounce do the hard work so you don't have to. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.